Away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
Looking for your next career opportunity? How about some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned and operated Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring, and they would love to have you as part of the McFamily. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. Come join the family at McDonald's. Don't let this financial opportunity pass you by. Please visit DixonFoods.com to apply.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed
Tim Dowse, he's the new special teams coordinator. Well, what did you know about ECU before coming here?
Well, kind of proud myself of being a football junkie, so I know two things about ECU, that there's a great tradition, in particular in football around here. So that has jumped out to me. And second was Coach Houston. When his name came across a couple of years ago and I had the opportunity to meet him, I walked away thoroughly impressed with him and said, man, I've got to stay in touch with this guy. That program's going places. And that hasn't changed since I got on campus.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this one purple.
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello, everyone. Welcome in to Pirate Radio Live on a Thursday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios and coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We are on 1250, 930, online at pr927fm.com. And you can watch us on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Subscribe to Pirate Radio TV on YouTube and watch this program, The Brian Bailey Show, all of our Zoom press conferences, all the videos that we post as well, including one with all of the Pirate Radio crew that we posted last night as I was doing a little PA around the office. Check that out if you haven't seen it yet on our social media sites. Big show coming up today with some great guests, including Dr. Gary Overton. Coach O going to join us in about 15 minutes as we will get you ready for the upcoming ECU baseball season. Pirates and Rhode Island scheduled to get underway on Friday. Weather might have other ideas, but good news is, and we'll hear from Cliff Godwin coming up later on in our show from his Zoom earlier today, that Rhode Island is making the trip. All things clear on the COVID front. So we're going to hopefully have some baseball coming up this weekend at Clark LeClaire Stadium. We'll get a season preview with Coach O, Gary Overton, coming up in a little bit. Jeff Nadu, the big man on campus, going to join us to talk about what's going on tonight in college basketball, the NBA. His Philadelphia Eagles are in the news. We'll talk about that momentarily. And Jeff has some news of his own regarding his employment and his future with Barstool Sports. So we'll talk about that coming up in this hour. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, has a lot to talk about. We got a football schedule for East Carolina to discuss today. We've got a big-time recruit from north of the border that's going to come to ECU to play basketball for Joe Dooley's squad in the future. We will talk about that and more with Stephen Igoe in the 4 o'clock hour. Troy D going to join us in the 5 o'clock hours. We talk Pirate baseball, some ECU football as well, run over the schedule, and hear what Tim Dowse had to say when he joined us Wednesday on Pirate Radio Live, as had a great conversation with the new special teams coordinator at ECU. So we got a lot to get to on a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll welcome in Shirley Rhodes and Chandler Honeycutt to the program. And Shirley, I guess top story of the day around here is the football schedule being released.
Yeah.
And we can run over that real quick. Something I've never seen before on this schedule, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But the Pirates, as we know, will kick things off September 2nd. That is on a Thursday in Bank of America Stadium as they will take on Appalachian State. After that, the non-conference schedule goes like this. September 11th at home against South Carolina, on the road on the 18th at Marshall, and then back home on the 25th against Charleston Southern. South Carolina, Marshall, Charleston Southern, all Saturday games. Pirates will have 3 straight Saturday games after that in conference play, as the conference opener will be at home against Tulane on October 2nd. October 9th, they are on the road at UCF. So that is 6 games. Let's see, 6 games there, and then you get your bye right in the middle of the season, and then 6 games following the bye. So I don't know, if you like your bye dead in the middle of the season, then you got your wish this year. That is the case on this schedule. October 23rd at Houston. Then the Pirates have back-to-back Thursday games, maybe, because according to the schedule, there is an or. We've seen ors on depth charts before. I don't remember too many ors on a schedule. Against USF at home, it says October 28th, Thursday. It says the game will be played either October 28th or October 30th. So I guess it's not in pen yet. It's in pencil right now that perhaps that's a Thursday game. Same can be said for the following week, November 4th. Thursday against Temple, it says the game will be played either November 4th or November 6th. So a day to be determined later with USF and Temple. A potential for 3 Thursday games this year. Pirates will be at Memphis, at Navy. That's a tough back-to-back road stretch there, November 13th and November 20th. And then we get another or. Cincinnati at home. This is the unfortunate Friday after Thanksgiving game that'll be in Greenville. But it says this game will be played either November 26th or November 27th. So it could be a Friday, could be a Saturday. So, Shirley, you got the Thursday season opener that we knew about. 2 more Thursday games on the schedule. But that or is interesting. I don't remember seeing that before.
I don't remember ever seeing that either. And it is kind of interesting. I don't know if that's more of a TV situation where they're thinking maybe, maybe that's the reason why they're holding off on announcing that date, or if it's something completely different. I'm not
it's
real
got to
sure.
be TV, but it's like, is it
usually that's
is it
not
more of
the
an
case.
attractive matchup to put it on Thursday or Saturday? I don't know. So I'm a little confused by that. But
the only other thing I can think of is that because of the way things have gone in the past, with the past season, maybe this is like a window for COVID-related situations where maybe if COVID is still lingering and is going to present itself as a problem, if maybe that's a situation where they're just going to hold off, like if they've scheduled it for a Saturday or a Thursday and it's a no-go for Thursday, but maybe that Saturday window might work. So I wonder if maybe that's the reason why we have those ors for the dates, because TV usually it's just a kickoff time that we're waiting on. It's usually
right.
Maybe it's a noon game or a 3:30 game, but it'll be interesting to see what the thinking was behind that.
all the kickoff times right now on ECUPirates.com are TBA, including the game against Appalachian State, scheduled for September 2nd to kick off the season on a Thursday night. So that is the schedule. We'll have plenty of time to digest and dissect this today and throughout the shows from now until September. So we'll talk about it with Igoe coming up later on. We'll talk about it with Troy D coming up in hour number 3 as well. All right, Shirley, what else has made the Shirley Rhodes news desk today?
All right, let's start off with a big congratulations to our buddy Malcolm Gray, who picked up an award. He is the 46th recipient of the Wilbur, I'm going to try to say, is it Snip? I don't know how to pronounce this last name. It's SNYPP. So it's either Snipe or Snip.
Snipe or Snip.
Award, but basically the award is for the lifetime service to collegiate baseball. So congratulations to Malcolm for picking up that award.
Awesome.
Also, and you'll hear this probably in the audio cuts that we have from Cliff Godwin's Zoom from earlier today, he announced that he, his entire staff, and all the players are COVID-free, and they are ready for opening day tomorrow. And Stephen Igoe reported earlier today that Bryson Worrell will be the leadoff hitter in the opener, which screwed up both of y'all's predictions as far as what the batting lineup was going to look like for opening day.
We knew Cliff would listen to what we said and do the opposite.
Do the opposite.
So I did it on purpose.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fair enough. Also, the Atlanta Falcons waived former ECU quarterback Kurt Benkert today, but we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully, he'll land somewhere else.
Yeah.
He has been fairly solid in that backup role for Matt Ryan, so we'll see what happens there.
And if you follow Kurt on social media, he has an entirely different deal too.
He's a gaming. Yeah, his gaming has really kind of taken off too.
Like he's going to be successful in that part of life if that's the route he goes. I got to be honest. I mean, I played a little FIFA last night after I got home from sports trivia. That's about the only game I'm playing right now. I'll throw in some baseball and maybe some football or something, but as far as the level of gaming that Benkert and those guys do, it's insane to me.
It's insane.
It's like a lifestyle. It's like it takes over their entire lives. So.
Yeah, and which is interesting because he just became a new dad.
Yeah.
Dad to a little girl, so we'll see what happens there. We'll keep an eye on that. Also, and of course, the national news that came across this earlier today was Philadelphia agreeing to trade Carson Wentz to the Colts in exchange for a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 2022 second-round pick that could turn into a first-round pick. We'll keep an eye on that as well.
Chandler, real quick before we move on, when you saw that, did you say, I would have done that if I was the Panthers?
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't feel like they gave up that much.
Nothing, basically.
Yeah. I mean the third rounder and then the second rounder could turn into a first rounder next year, depending on how much Wentz plays and how Wentz plays.
Right.
But even so, a first rounder for still a young quarterback that we've seen play well early in his career, kind of fell off a cliff and had major turnover issues. But for a guy still that young, I feel like the Colts, I think this is great for the Colts. They didn't give up much at all, and they've got their quarterback of the now and potentially of the future.
Yeah, this situation really reminds me of the Carolina Panthers and the way they kind of treated Cam Newton after his injuries and the downfall that he had. We kind of just gave him up, and I feel like that's exactly what Philadelphia did today. Is they gave up Carson Wentz to the Indianapolis Colts. I mean, we're talking about just a few years ago, he was on track to be a MVP in the league.
Yep.
He was on track to take his team to the Super Bowl. He was on track to, win the Super Bowl MVP. Luckily, they had a backup quarterback that was able to do that himself in Nick Foles. But like you said, the Colts now have their quarterback of right now and of the future, and really didn't give up much of nothing.
All right, Shirley, what else do we got?
One final note, Harold Varner III had his first round in the Genesis Invitational that kicked off today. He shot a 1 under 70 for the day.
Okay.
And he's sitting right around 24th place total as far as the leaderboard goes for today's tournament.
I feel like that's kind of par for the course with Harold the last few weeks, right? Like he's kind of been in that spot here on Thursday, Friday.
Friday, he usually has some pretty strong showings and kind of puts himself in a really good position. It's usually those Saturday, Sunday rounds that tend to trip him up from time to time.
We'll talk to Mark Greenheld from the Golf Shop Radio Show on Friday and keep up with what Harold is up to.
Well, you think about it, a lot of people probably sit back and think, golf is probably one of the easiest sports. But, I mean, it's a 4-day event. I mean, it's kind of tough if you think about it. And they're not riding around in golf carts. They're sitting there walking 18 holes a day.
Okay, Chandler. Nobody's like, what are you so...
Well, you're talking about how good he is on Thursday and Friday, and then he slips up maybe on Saturday and Sunday. Maybe the fatigue gets to him.
All right, we know that you're our resident golfer, and we're not saying it's an easy sport. Well, you hadn't played in a while, probably, have you?
No,
with this weather,
it's been way too cold.
Yeah,
I don't play golf at all, unless it's miniature golf.
I'll have to take you to play golf sometime, Shirley.
That's not going to be pretty.
Let's
I can
start
promise
with
you that.
Putt-putt, and we'll go from there.
Shirley likes putt-putt.
I love putt-putt. Putt-putt is my thing. But golf, man, if you need me to drive a ball, throw me a softball. I can drive that. I took a golf class in college, and it's a miracle I didn't flunk that class.
I don't know.
I was really bad at it.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going.
I
hit
hook mine left
how
every
far
time.
it's going. It's just not my bag. I don't think I have the patience for it. You got to be pretty patient.
Well, see, my problem is I can't, like, I literally took instruction on how to, like, make a tee shot, but because I'm so used to playing baseball and softball, and obviously they are larger spheres, trying to keep your head still and trying to swing through and hit a golf ball is virtually impossible. And when I do hit it, let's just put it this way, I hit the same golf cart twice.
Were you trying to do that?
No,
it
was completely unintentional. It was I was taking a golf class. They had a driving range, and it was separated by a row of trees, and then there was a fairway on the other side, and I kept hooking it left. And I hit the same golf cart twice. The second time I hit him, the guy pretty much cussed me out.
Kept banned from the course.
Well, because I didn't yell four.
Oh, yeah, you gotta yell four.
I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know I hit the ball. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
I didn't know I hit the ball, so how do you yell four if you don't even know the ball's, like, going in that direction?
We're going to make another Caddyshack movie starring Shirley Rhodes.
Yeah, that's going to be funny.
Good luck trying to Butch Harmon that situation, Chandler, when y'all go golfing. We knew it was bad when Shirley was taking her tee shot and had the club over her shoulder, flicking it like Gary Sheffield.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like she was about to hit a softball.
I'm telling you, if I swing and actually make contact, it's usually with the ground, and I'm usually bringing up big chunks of it. It's bad.
Yeah, we'll let Chandler stick to the golf, and we'll stick to other things.
Putt-putt, I'll kill you in putt-putt, though.
We need to get a break in because our guest is here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coach O, Dr. Gary Overton, going to join us to talk some baseball. Pirates and Rams of Rhode Island going at it this weekend to begin the 2021 season. And we'll talk to Coach O, what he thinks about this team and baseball as a whole when we return on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Megan State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Introducing Tommy Club, the best car wash value anywhere. Starting at just $19.99 a month, you can wash your car as often as you like. And also take advantage of our express lanes exclusively for Tommy Club members. You can enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride to a spot-free shine faster and as often as you like when you're a member of Tommy Club. Plus, our vacuums and mat washers are always free. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Whether you're flying for business or for pleasure, enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport to get you where you're going and then home again safely. For your next trip, remember, American Airlines is back at PGV. Book today at aa.com. Pitt Greenville Airport, where the Pirates fly.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates. Hey, Pirate fans, it's time to get your yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 3/1/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Villa Verde on 10th Street, Greenville's only Dominican restaurant, now features a brand new lunch menu, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Choose from your favorites like the Villa Verde Burger, the Veggie Burger, the Cuban Sandwich, the Dominican Club, the Villa Wrap, the Vegetable Sandwich, the Big Poppy Steak Sandwich, or create your own bowl, all with your choice of side and a drink for under $10. If you're looking for a high-quality, healthy, and affordable lunch, Villa Verde is your place. Villa Verde, a platform for good. University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
In studio today with No Idea, also known as Dennis McCunney to his friends and family. Why do you go to F3?
Well, Jonathan, I was just feeling kind of soft and sluggish, I guess. And back in the fall, I said, I'm going to just give it a try. Showed up in February, and I've been going ever since. So there's good spirits, there's camaraderie, there's accountability. I feel great. I'm really motivated to be better. So it's been a great experience for me.
One letter, one number, F3. Learn more today at f3enc.com.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's for the best Mexican food and fun in Greenville. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Follow Chico's on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's for dine-in or to go. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, excited for ECU Baseball 2021 and very excited to have Coach O, Dr. Gary Overton, joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Of course, you know him as a former ECU coach. He's on the broadcast with Corey Glore on the Pirates IMG Sports Network, and talk about his other duties as well. Coach O, always great to see you. It means baseball's on the way. How you doing?
Oh, very good. And Clip, really good to be here and good to talk baseball with you.
Yes, sir. And before we get into the season this year, again, people know you as legendary former ECU coach, also what you do on the air, but how about your day-to-day duties at East Carolina for those that don't know? Tell everybody what you do.
Well, I'm an assistant athletic director, but more important than that, I work in game management and oversee the operation of each of the games of each of the sports that we play.
And unfortunately, now there's a lot going on right now, but with COVID and postponements and cancellations, there's also been more time off than you probably predicted, especially at Minges Coliseum, right?
Well, predictability is the word. You're exactly right. No telling when a change will occur, but we do know it's coming down the road in almost every event that takes place.
A lot going on with the schedule at ECU Athletics right now. Coach, we'll focus on the baseball, and Rhode Island is coming to town. Cliff Godwin said that earlier today. Sounds like COVID-wise, everything's good to go as far as baseball. Now we're just crossing our fingers for some weather that we can play baseball this weekend, Coach. But let's start with the pitching. It was announced that Gavin Williams will not throw this weekend. We expect to see him on the mound at some point this season, but we knew Jake Kuchmaner, Tyler Smith would be in the mix. Carson Wisenhunt is a name we don't know a lot about right now, but Cliff Godwin raved about him earlier today. In fact, he's a guy that we're excited to see. In fact, Cliff said he's excited for Pirate fans to see Carson Wisenhunt, who is scheduled to go on Sunday, Coach.
Yeah, and when he came in last year as a freshman, I think all of us were excited because we kept hearing he was the freshman to watch, and certainly did not have anything except a very freshman-like year. And I think Carson would tell you that he could have had a better season, but not so. All freshmen have to get their feet wet, and the ability and the capability of Carson Wisenhunt is very special, and certainly all of us hope to see him special on the mound.
And, Coach, what you just said can probably be said about Carter Spavius, too, as well, right? Because when we saw him a couple years ago as a freshman, he took his lumps. Cliff Godwin's been raving about him coming back as now a third-year sophomore in this program. And then we're going to see quite a bit of him, too.
Yeah, and word out of the Pirate camp, you mentioned Coach Godwin and also pitching coach Jason Dietrich. And we hear from a lot of sources from the program that what Carter has done, he's not only matured as a pitcher, but he has gained some consistency, and right now he's one of the most solid of the Pirate pitchers on the staff.
Looking forward to seeing those guys. We kind of know what we're going to get out of Tyler Smith and Jake Kuchmaner, and hopefully they have even another level to take in their college careers. I love watching Kuchmaner pitch, Coach, because he goes fast. He's when he's on the mound, he's all business. He's getting the ball. He's going right back to the mitt. I like the way he works fast. Tyler Smith, kind of a classic pitch to contact guy, and let your defense handle it behind you. Although I remember, 2019 and I guess the beginning of 2020. Had a strikeout pitch that he added to the repertoire too. So it's great to see these guys grow as they get older as pitchers here at ECU.
Yeah, and you mentioned, you really summed up Tyler really well. I mean, he is a pitch to contact guy, but he doesn't wow you. Yet at the same time, when you look at his numbers at the end of a season, really strong. And his record from the day he stepped foot at East Carolina has been remarkable.
And, Coach, when you have a solid defense behind you and a solid catcher, you can pitch to contact and know those guys are going to help you out. And you coaches always want to be strong up the middle, right? And Cadell, Giles, Norby, Worrell, I mean, that's a strong middle of your team right there, and something that Cliff Godwin's going to rely on this season.
Really is, but let's go back in just a moment and talk about Kuchmaner.
Okay.
When he pitches quickly, and coaches like that a lot because the game moves along, but the people who like it the most are position players. They're quick on their feet, better jumps. There's no humdrum to the game. There's a lot of action. It's all transpiring at a rapid rate. And so when a guy works like Cooch, guys like Norby, Giles, Worrell, they love it. And you just mentioned four names that we will talk about because all four of those guys are special.
And you announcers like it too, right? The game's moving like that. It makes it easier for everybody.
It does. And the game's more interesting for the fans.
Looking forward to, and Coach, we got a lot of names to talk about, but Cliff Godwin did say today Bryson Worrell will be the leadoff hitter. And he's tough to kind of put into a category, right? Because he's got speed. He's also got power. When he squares up on one, it goes a long way. He is and Malcolm Gray was describing him. He said he didn't know if he's quite a five-tool guy, but with the speed, the base running, the power, I mean, he's just about there. If he puts it all together, he's going to have one heck of a year.
Clip, as Malcolm said, maybe he's not a five-tool guy, but if he's not, I've missed something because each of the components of the game, he has a high level or a high ceiling to work with off of those five tools. But as a leadoff hitter, that may come as a surprise to some, and to me, not so. The old adage is he'll get more at bats for the season, and he's a guy that not only puts the ball in play, and as you said, you alluded to his power, but he also has speed. And in taking bases, he can move the game along himself.
Robert on Facebook Live says, tell Coach O hello from Ahoskie. So I got folks chiming in, Coach. I know they're looking forward to hearing you and Corey Glore on the broadcast coming up on the Pirates IMG Sports Network, ECU and Rhode Island this weekend. You've got a lot of returners, Coach, and a lot of names that we are very familiar with. We've already mentioned Cadell behind the plate. You got Agnos at third, Giles, Norby, Hoover, and Worrell in the outfield. Thomas Francisco is going to be somewhere. And then you've got, Josh Moylan and Alec Makarevich, who we saw a little bit of. Christian Smallwood, we obviously know as well. It seems like everything is kind of pinned in as far as the spots on the field, maybe outside of first and left field. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, very much so. And you mentioned guys that are offensive-minded, and at the same time, you have defensive players like Giles and Norby. By the way, speaking of Norby, a player that I thought was very impressive last year in the sense that he may be the Pirates' most underrated player, and yet that's hard to say when a guy hits over 400 for a season. the middle, though, is really strong and really solid. I know I've used that word solid a lot, but at the same time, that's two guys that you have to feel good about. And you kept mentioning names. And the key element to what I think you were saying, Clip, is the fact that the Pirates possess an awful lot of depth.
Yeah.
They not only can go to the bench, but go to the bench and not miss a beat, as coaches like to say.
What is the ceiling for Thomas Francisco? To me, he seems like a guy that could really. We were talking about it earlier this week. It was either Ronnie or Igoe. I think it was Ronnie who said he could be ECU's Triple Crown guy. Could lead the team in homers, hitting, or RBIs. You know, that could be Worrell. It could be a number of guys, but I feel like Thomas Francisco is ready for a big season coming up.
Yeah, and he obviously plays a corner. He came in as a third baseman, played more first last year. There was some rumors or rumblings that he may play a little left field this year. But the thing is, he's an offensive player, and he plays in an offensive position, thus meaning that his job is to swing the bat, and he does it so well. You mentioned Triple Crown. Absolutely. I mean, that possibility of power, average. He certainly a guy that can make a lot of noise and wreak havoc.
Have you got to look at the big fella Josh Moylan yet, and what kind of player he's going to be?
Yeah, just a little, but he's in the same mold as Francisco. Same type player, left-handed hitter with power. Probably a little more of a pull guy than Thomas is, but at the same time, he can hit the ball a long way. Kind of reminds you a little of Kyle Roller.
The Pirates have had a kind of a pipeline of big, burly first basemen, right? You know, with Spencer Brickhouse, and you mentioned Kyle Roller. We were talking about Roller the other day when I had Seth Simmons on the show, looking back at that 2009 regional against South Carolina. Some fun memories there. Coach O, let's see, who else on the off? Anybody we haven't mentioned yet? We'll get to the bullpen and other starters, but how about from a hitting and defensive standpoint? Anybody you're ready to see this year?
Yeah, talking with Coach Godwin, I think the player that he feels made the most strides from last year to this particular point was Seth Cadell behind the plate. We all knew that he could hit and that he does possess power. And even Seth would say that maybe his strikeouts were up a little bit from a couple of years ago, but now he's a complete player, handles pitchers well, has always been a good receiver, and now he's the complete package as both a catcher and the offensive game that he brings to the Pirate lineup.
Recruiting has been just such a great aspect of Cliff Godwin's ability as a coach. You think about, I talked to Turner Brown recently, and I was thinking Hunter Allen to Turner Brown to Ryder Giles, and it's just seamless, right, Coach? You could say the same for, Watkins to Washer to Cadell. He's really got younger guys coming up the pipeline each and every year.
Yeah, and fulfilling the same roles as the previous guy.
Right.
We all say, wow, we're lucky now. And then the next year is the same thing. And you're exactly right.
In fact, Cliff Godwin picks on us because we say, man, what are you going to do when Watkins leaves? And it's like, don't worry, I got a guy. And he does every year. Another one pops up. It's great to see. Talking to Gary Overton here inside the Pirate Radio studios. Coach O, when you look at this team and talk to folks, everybody's excited about, you mentioned depth earlier. How about a deep bullpen for ECU going into this year?
Yeah, and we could throw out names. We've already talked about Cooch and, of course, Tyler Smith. But, there's a lot of unsung players in that bullpen. When you look at the numbers that Garrett Saylor and Cam Colmore put up last year, you'd have to say, if you knew nothing about ECU baseball, you'd say, wow, this is their top two guys. And yet, at the same time, those were guys that filled roles, and not only filled them well, dominant.
And if you do that, you're leaving out Mayhew and Bridges and a ton of other, even the two-way guys. I mean, Ryder Giles has come in and pitched well for ECU. Agnos was a name Cliff Godwin mentioned that can go both on the mound and in the field. So a lot of two-way guys on this team. How about the changes over the years, Coach, in bullpens, how they're used, the closer role, especially in college, is some coaches still have their traditional closer, but Cliff Godwin goes by committee, by field, by situation. How has that changed since you were a coach over the years, or do you see it pretty similar to when you were coaching?
Well, very similar in that Cliff Godwin's a bit old school in that whoever is hot, the guy that he feels the most comfort zone with, and that's just a natural thing for any coach, unless you've got that designated closer. that guy who is dominant in the back end of the bullpen. But what is different, Clip, is with the depth that we've discussed, take guys like Matt Bridges. I mean, we're looking at a setup guy for whoever does close if it's not him. And that's the part of the game. It's become a 6 to 7 inning game for starters, and in some case, only 5.
Yeah, that's interesting. You don't expect your guy to go 8 or a complete game anymore. You say, hey, give me a solid 6, and we'll let these guys take care of it. You're right. And so that's a big change from when you were coaching?
Absolutely. Yeah. We didn't see that in those days. Today, it's pretty common.
And why is that? You just got so many more arms, so many higher velocity guys. Why is that different now?
Well, just think that you're right. They're better arms. I think they're better athletes that are probably better trained in many different ways. But when you have a pitching staff of, say, the years gone by of 4 and 5 guys that were used almost every game in every capacity, now, Cliff he certainly has 10 to 11 that he would feel comfortable with.
And it's a grind, too. It's a lot. You're playing a lot of baseball, Coach, and you don't want to wear out those arms, so that's a factor as well, right? I believe Cliff Godwin said that at least starting this season, there will be a bit of a pitch count on his starters going into the year.
Yeah, the length of season has a lot to do with it.
Yeah. All right, Gary Overton joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Looking forward to the baseball season cranking up. Coach O, what is your expectations for these 2021 Pirates?
Well, this is one of the most talented teams I've seen here. And in so thinking, I think a high number of wins are certainly the first goal that the Pirates will try to achieve. Now, as those wins accumulate, let's hope they do, but as they accumulate, then the Pirates can start thinking about what will happen postseason.
Looking at the schedule, Duke, the best non-conference opponent it appears ECU will face. I asked Corey Glore the toughest weekend series non-conference. He looked at Illinois State as potentially the best team, St. John's as well. We've seen them in Greenville quite a bit. We know they're talented. In league play, the experts are saying ECU and UCF are kind of at the top. How about you, Coach, when you look at this schedule, what kind of steps stands out to you?
Well, you mentioned Duke, which, of course, is a top 25 club, but last year ECU swept a really good Georgia Southern club that came on after and won a lot of games, even sweeping Georgia Tech. So I think that's a series.
Keep an eye on that series.
You stole my thunder. I was going to say keep an eye on
Okay.
that.
All right. You put me on alert for Georgia Southern. How about the conference, Coach? Like last time out, we saw, was it Cincinnati?
Yes.
Who won not only their first postseason conference tournament game, but ended up winning the whole thing and going to a regional. That was back in 2019, kind of by surprise. Who other than UCF are you watching here in the American this year?
Well, I think twofold. I think Wichita State is going to make strides. They got off to a really good start last year, but at the same time, Houston is always good. Now they generally bring in a good pitching staff, and they try to win with pitching and defense. But I think those are the two teams to look at or to watch as the season unfolds.
And we're going to be playing, it appears, 4-game series for those conference weekends, right?
Correct. I'm not sure that it's decided which day. I'm sure the coaches have talked about it and to how many innings on the doubleheader side will be played. But anyway, that'll unfold as well later.
How does an old school Gary Overton feel about potentially playing like a 9-inning and a 7-inning game? And how about the extra inning, start a guy at second base? Is that too radical for you, Coach, or are you okay with all that?
The latter part is a bit radical for me. Starting a runner in extra innings on second base. Now I know, or we all assume that it is to limit the number of innings in a game where there are no more, well, I won't say no more, but there are few and far between 17, 18 innings or 15-inning games, and that wears on a pitching staff. But, I have trouble with that.
Okay, I understand.
On the other side, though, it's
you understand the reasoning by it. You're just not, 100% on board.
But 7-inning games in doubleheaders, it never bothered me because if you look in all of minor league baseball, doubleheaders, 2 7 innings.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're doing it at the pro level. It's good enough for college, I guess. Coach O, Gary Overton. All right, the $1 million question. Who is Washington's starter at quarterback in September, Coach O?
Wow.
Is he on the roster yet?
No.
Okay, so you think they're going to add with Taylor Heineke? Add another?
I do. And I think they'll give up a late round, or not late round, but non-first round pick to get an established quarterback.
Get a veteran that's already.
Yes.
All right, you heard it from the expert, Dr. Gary Overton. Coach O, an old Skins fan like myself, Cy Seymour. There's still a few of us out there. I think there's going to be a lot more once they see Chase Young and this defense play in the future. I think there might be a little bandwagon for me, Coach O.
Absolutely. Some of them who left years ago will gravitate back.
Come on back. Coach, looking forward to hearing you on the Pirates IMG Sports Network along with Corey Glore. A lot of folks enjoy your calls, and looking forward to that coming up this year.
Thanks so much, Clip.
All right, I enjoyed it, and we'll talk to Coach O throughout the baseball season, get him on in a little bit to kind of recap some ECU baseball. Looking forward to get going on Friday. All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back. More to go on Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Jersey Mike's, app is short for appetizing because you'll save 25% with the code JMikes25, but only when you use the Jersey Mike's app, February 15th through 18th. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. At Jersey Mike's, app is short for appetizing because you'll save 25% with the code JMikes25, but only when you use the Jersey Mike's app, February 15th through 18th. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
In studio with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys are expanding and growing.
Yeah, we sure are. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that we actually have a pediatric practice as well. It's called Kinetic Pediatric Therapy. We've got speech, physical, and occupational therapy there just for kids. If you're concerned about your child's development or just want to make sure they're on track, you can bring them in for a screen. If they need evaluation, we're able to do that and help them continue to develop. For more information, you can visit us at kptkids.com or give us a call, 689-6043.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Oh, great. It's 30 degrees in here.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime.
Mom!
I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire.
Delcor responds to heating emergencies 24 hours a day. Go to delcorinc.com or call 252-321-8868. Get a new train system with special financing for 60 months, subject to credit approval. It's hard to stop a train. Offer expires 3/31/21.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro. We are the professional office systems people.
This is Dr. Chris Hasty with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. For more than 35 years, we've been taking care of the student athletes at East Carolina University. We are happy to have received the designation of official team physicians from the university. Whether you need assistance with a sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, my colleagues and I are here to help. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. For a Thursday, it's a pretty good night of college basketball, including a big one in the American. Houston at Wichita State coming up at 7 o'clock. Iowa, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Penn State, Gonzaga in action against St. Mary's. Number 3, Michigan taking on Rutgers. San Diego State, a top 25 team in action against Fresno State. So a lot of games going on tonight. Let's break some of those games down right now as we head out to the Fixed NC Live line and visit with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, to break down tonight's action and also some news and other notes going on out there with his Philadelphia Eagles and with his current status with Barstool Sports. We'll talk about it all as we get him hooked up here on the Fixed NC Live line, as Shirley Rhodes is hooking that up right now for us. And I will stall. And
okay,
now
I got him on the phone.
Jeff Nadu is ready to go. Thank you, Shirley, on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, how you doing today, man?
I'm great, Clip. Very good, very good. I didn't have a great night in college last night, but the great news is the NBA continues to be very profitable for me as I pick and choose. Not a huge card tonight, but appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I always enjoy having you on. We had you on years ago before you started working with Barstool Sports, and looks like Jeff will continue to have you on after your time at Barstool Sports. So we'll talk about this first. You put out a statement last night that said you have decided to move on from your position at Barstool. Thursday, today is your last day. And Jeff, I don't know how much you want to go into why you made this decision or what's next for you, but I got to ask, so what's going on with the big man right now?
Well, and I want to preface this, thank you, Clip, always for having me on. You guys are some of my favorite people. You've always given me a platform to talk, always great interviews, always whoever handles the bench outside of you've always been a gem and a professional, and I appreciate that. Everybody there has been great. Clip, I think sometimes you take shots, and when I first started doing this, a decade ago or so, I had always aimed to go as high as I could with it and try to go wherever I could. And, I was appreciative of the opportunity. There were certain things that were difficult, from a fit standpoint as well, as far as, I'm a gambler. I like to talk about trends and stats and that kind of thing at the end of the day. And, I guess for me at this point, it just kind of felt like time. And, we'll kind of see where that all goes from here on out. But, I won't be stopping doing this or anything. I'm going to kind of reevaluate what I'm doing and kind of get ready for the tournament on myself and by myself, and we'll see where things go. But I'll be fine. I'll be good. I'm never going to stop doing this.
No doubt. And I've talked to Glenn and Chandler. We know Jeff Nadu. We know Barstool Sports. We've had some conversations, and I've never really talked about it to you. It's none of my business. And if we get to see you live in person, maybe we could have that conversation. But I kind of, even from the start, question the fit, what you do and how you do it and how Barstool does it. And so I kind of see, I don't know. Well, I'll talk about it with you face to face. How about that?
I think, Clip, real quick, and I will say this, whenever you do something, you always expect that you're going to get a fair shake, and I know that I'm not everyone's cup of tea. I know the way I do things is not everyone's cup of tea, but there's always a lane you can create for yourself. And, that was really the biggest issue. But I think we developed a really cool niche audience. I never really believed how many people that really never made it a point to tell me that they enjoyed the show that reached out to me yesterday and said, hey, you taught me this, you helped me with this, I'm a better gambler because of your show. And that's all I really did it for at the end of the day. It's nice to meet people and get people to follow me, but I enjoy doing this. It's a passion of mine. It's like anyone has with anything. I don't do this ever for money. I mean, obviously I have to make a living, but I generally enjoy this, and I was happy for an opportunity. You just always want to get a fair shake, and I think it's questionable whether I got that or not.
Well, Jeff, we'll talk about that more down the road. We'll get into some games in a moment too, but at the end of the day, you're a sports fan. You have your teams just like the rest of us, and you are an Eagles guy. So I got to ask you about this as well. The Philadelphia Eagles reportedly trading Carson Wentz to Indianapolis for a third-round pick and a second-round pick that could turn into a first-round pick depending on how much Wentz plays and some other things there with Indianapolis. When I first saw this, I don't know what I was expecting Philly to get if they shipped out Carson Wentz. I was thinking it'd be a little bit more than a second and a third, which, it could turn into a first. What's your take on what you saw today with Carson Wentz?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you can look at this through one of two ways. You can look at it from the standpoint of we all know that the contract Carson Wentz had was gaudy. It was a bad one to begin with. They've made a lot of mistakes, this team, one of which was how much money they gave Carson Wentz, knowing what they know. If they knew all this stuff and they knew that, he was injury prone and they knew they were never going to give him weapons, the fact that they ever gave him this contract is mind-numbing, frankly. It's just really been a sore subject, I think, for a lot of the real Eagle fans, because we've seen this many times here where, they go out and they manage the farm to go out and get somebody like they did with a McNabb or with a Wentz, and then for years on end they just do nothing to help him improve. And Carson has his own issues as far as on the field with just injuries and certain mistakes and not holding on to the football. But I mean, it's very difficult to try to define and say that Wentz was ever given much here. It was the same with McNabb. I mean, you look at the one time you gave him Terrell Owens, they go to the Super Bowl. So it's just never. I thought he got a fair shake here. There was a lot of injury or locker room issues supposedly. I don't think it was anything to do with him, but. It's just an irritating issue at this point because, Howie Roseman put them in this situation, gave up a ton, gave the guy a ton of money, and then has to get bad value for a bad contract. So on one hand, it's nice that the contract's out of here, but on another hand, what do you have to show for it? Nothing.
I feel like the Eagles are kind of in a similar spot to Washington when it comes to the quarterbacks because Washington signed Taylor Heineke, who, had a good game against Tampa in the playoffs, but that's pretty much it on his resume. Eagles have Jalen Hurts there. As a Washington fan, I'm thinking, okay, what else are they going to bring in a QB? Are you thinking the same thing, or is it Jalen Hurts' team now, or do you think they'll bring in somebody else with him?
I'm becoming more and more kind of in belief that they're going to target a quarterback, and this is where you are now. You're in this carousel of you thought you had the guy, you thought you were good, you thought you didn't have to do this for a while, now you're right back to it. And we know what quarterbacks are. They're mystifying, once the draft gets closer and closer. The Philadelphia Eagles have the opportunity to, I think, this year, I think Jalen Hurts, what he did show you is he is capable, okay? And he is a guy that could be the next thing here. I think you got to go and run with it. And you went up and took him last year in the second round. You obviously felt like you had something there. Go out and take the best receiver available. You have to start giving these guys weapons before doing that. You can't just bring a quarterback in and say, you know what, we thought we believed in you. You did really well. You did nothing to not deserve this, but we're going to bring someone else in. Go out and draft a receiver, the best one on the board. But this team is led by a complete weasel, so I have no reason to believe that will happen. So I hope they do, but I got a feeling they're going to take a quarterback.
Jeff Nadu joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Jeff, before we get into the basketball tonight, you mentioned NBA. I went 2-0 last night. I had plans on going 0-0, but when I returned home from sports trivia, I looked at what was going on, and the Blazers were down in the third, and I jumped on them live. The Warriors were a little bit later were down to the Heat, and I jumped on them live, and they ended up both of those teams ended up winning outright. I know you post your picks and everything, Jeff, but how much, generally speaking, do you get involved in live plays at night?
Not much. I mean, I think occasionally. I mean, last night was very much of a blur for me. I had a weird night. Like I said, I didn't do real well in college, and I was actually banned on Twitter till about 9:15 Eastern. And
really?
At that point, I had obviously plans to put out the statement that I made, and I mean, all night I was just inundated with people calling me and people reaching out to me, and I didn't even realize somebody sent me a message and said, the Rockets covered, which is a nice kind of update. But yeah, I don't bet too much live. I'm more of a college live guy, on my own. But the NBA, I know there's money in that, but I've always had success with betting it beforehand.
Right.
I don't really, with the way I handicap, I don't put a lot of stock into who's actually on the court. It's more of just the numbers and that kind of thing. So. I don't do a ton of NBA live betting.
All right, decent card tonight. I mean, some pretty good matchups here. Let's start with one in the American. We talked about it briefly earlier this week. You said it. I mean, Wichita State just had, you can say they control their own destiny, but they need to win and keep winning if they want to be an at-large in the NCAA tournament. Huge opportunity tonight at home against Houston. They're 7.5-point dogs to the Cougars. Again, a big spot for the second-place team in the AAC tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, everything at this point for Wichita is important. I mean, these next three games are very, very important, and they got to try to win 2 or 3, which is going to be difficult. But one thing about this game, they are at home. I thought they played really well in the first game against Houston. The problem that Wichita have is they need to not get killed on the glass. And if you look at the first time these two teams played, Clip, the difference was the fact that Houston had 15 offensive rebounds, and they didn't shoot the ball real well, but they were able to hang in the game and ultimately pull away because of that. And that's the concern tonight for Wichita. I thought this number was a bit high, frankly. I would have put it more at like 5.5. But, obviously books don't agree with me there. I think you'll get a really good effort out of Wichita. They're always, well coached. They play good defense, and they're at home here, which I know it's not that atmosphere generally, but they'll have some fans in there tonight. I lean Wichita. Won't be betting it, but I think Wichita has the last-ditch effort because they do have a pretty solid resume. They just need some big-time wins.
Jeff, before we get into what you like, producer Chandler wanted me to ask you about a game. He was gloating about tailing you over the weekend and winning with Oregon. And I don't know, you might want to go back to the well tonight. Colorado versus Oregon. Oregon, a 2.5-point favorite, total at 140.5. Any thoughts on this Pac-12 matchup tonight?
Yeah, I think at this point, and I thank him for his kind words. He's a good guy. I talked to him before. He's a good guy. I'm conflicted on this game because I told myself if it got to 2.5, I would look more into it. I think Oregon is a really interesting team now that they're fully healthy, and going forward, I think it won't surprise me if they get to the Elite Eight because I think they're that talented. I thought the win on Saturday was huge because Duarte didn't play well, and they still won. They're getting a Colorado revenge game here at home. Colorado beat them earlier this season. They didn't have Will Richardson in that game, which is big. But Oregon comes across, Clip, as a little flavor of the weekish to me. Maybe we're just a little too intertwined with what they're doing, and they kind of are just a team that's going to have trouble, and they might win this game, but it's 70-68 or something. I lean Oregon in a revenge. If the problem that also you have is Colorado's off a bad loss. They had lost over the weekend to Cal. So if Colorado had won over the weekend, I would be really interested here, but in Oregon. But I like it. I don't love it. Is it a premium card play for me on my premium selections? No. I think it's worth the bet because I think Oregon's healthy and good now. But Colorado's tough, and they make free throws. They're the best in the country at that metric. So they can hang in the game that way, and it could be the difference in the game.
And Jeff, I mentioned some pretty good matchups tonight. Iowa, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, a narrow home favorite there. Ohio State, a road favorite at Penn State. In years past, might be fired up for Gonzaga and St. Mary's, but that is not the case this year, as the Gales are a little down and Gonzaga just better than everybody, head and shoulders in that conference. Anything else you're looking at tonight as far as college hoops goes?
Yeah, with the Gonzaga-St. Mary's game, you make a kind of an interesting point. Obviously, the luster is kind of off on that game. But I will say this. I thought St. Mary's played particularly well, I thought, in the first half of the first game. And, ultimately played pretty well the entire game. There's just something about Randy Bennett. And, the guy doesn't get enough credit. But if you ask me who some of the best mid-majors in the coaches in the country are outside of Mark Few, it's Randy Bennett. I mean, this guy has made St. Mary's a program of note every year. They're a fringe tournament team at a school that they have no business being. He's a terrific recruiter. I'm shocked that a big program hasn't went and pulled him in yet. And they played well in the first game. They slowed the game down like they normally do. I think this game means a little bit more to Gonzaga, though. It's more to them than Pacific or San Francisco or Portland. This is a big-time game, and I think we see a better performance from the Zags tonight, and I think they kind of just run away and hide. But they've had a weird problem clip with this, just falling asleep at the end of games. They didn't do it against San Francisco, but they did it against BYU.
Yeah.
They did it in certain other games. I would lean laying it, but because I just see a better effort. But don't sleep on St. Mary's. They're really tough. And what is Gonzaga's interest in winning by 30 here? Is there one?
Right. Yeah, I know. I was on them. I think it was that BYU game you talked about where BYU scored 7 points in the last minute or something, and were able to cover, and that one soured me a little bit. The
problem here, Clip, is the number's not high enough for me to take St. Mary's.
Right.
And it's also still kind of low enough for me, because Gonzaga can win, 87-67 here.
Yeah.
And you're right there on a cover. If this was 25, I would take St. Mary's, and you also wonder, it's a clash in styles, so Gonzaga's going to have plenty of options to score. So I would lean with Gonzaga, but it's right on the fridge.
All right, before we let you go, Jeff, 3 games in the NBA tonight, I guess headlined by Brooklyn and L.A. That one, a Lakers home game. They are a 3-point favorite, total at 231. You've got Raptors Bucks tonight, as well as Heat Sacramento Kings. You getting involved in any NBA action tonight?
Still looking. Something that's interesting is Heat Kings. I've talked before about how bad the Kings are defensively. In fact, I think they're historically bad. But and I got to look into kind of the problem the NBA has sometimes is they're very slow to the draw on who's playing and stuff. But this game is interesting to me. Numbers interesting, totals interesting. I almost want to lean under. Heat are very good defensively, and I think they kind of shut down the Kings tonight. So I might be looking at an under in this game. I got to do a little bit more, but I'll have something on Twitter. Also, one other thing in college, I didn't get to bring this up. Wisconsin is interesting tonight to me. I think if you have a brain, you should be able to see that this is a strong look for Wisconsin here. Off a loss, I was really good in the public's eyes. Why are they a 2-point dog here? I think Wisconsin hits those shots tonight that they've been missing recently. And you know who's going to have foul trouble tonight, Clip? Mr. Garza. I think he goes out with about 12 minutes to go in the first half. Wisconsin starts making shots, and they're fighting from behind Iowa the entire game. This kind of has an Illinois feel to it. I take Wisconsin. I think they win 79-73.
All right, there you go. From the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. So, Jeff, we'll follow you on Twitter at JeffNADU. You'll join us here on Mondays and Thursdays, and I guess we'll kind of wait for updates on what your next move is as far as podcast, videos, things like that.
Yeah, I got some things in the works, so it's just the day after, so it's a little quick, but I'll still do periscopes and clubhouses and anything I can do to help people. We'll have some stuff closer to the tournament, some conference previews that I'm working on my website that I'll throw out. So a lot going on. So I appreciate the Clip, the opportunity to always come on your show. thanks for always being a class act, you and all the people there.
Yeah, and thank you for coming on. I know a lot of the Barstool guys don't do a lot of things outside of the Barstool umbrella, so thank you for staying on with us, and we'll talk to you again on Monday, big man.
Sounds good. Appreciate you, Clip.
All right, Jeff Nadu joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line. Shirley, make sure you save that clip where he called me a class act. I want to run that at least 7 times a show from here on out, especially when my next guest joins me, who does not think very highly of me. Stephen Igoe.
Oh. I'm a dork. I'm already here, so therefore I'm not your next guest. It would be whoever's after me.
But you're not on this segment. We'll take a time out. We'll come back. Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. We'll welcome in Stephen Igoe. Hoist the colors. We got to talk ECU basketball recruiting. Igoe, you want to talk about the start of the baseball season for the 85th time?
Absolutely. I think we should re-project the lineup.
Okay.
Well, here's an interesting stat. Well, not a stat.
Stat to consider?
No, it's not a stat to consider. It's just, you know how we don't like to be called Eastern Carolina, correct?
Yeah.
We don't like that at all. Well, Billy Weaver just tweeted out that apparently Rhode Island has no idea who they're playing this weekend because according to their website, Rams open season with 3 games at Elon.
Igoe, does Cliff Godwin use this as bulletin board material?
100%.
All right.
He'll never admit to it. But I would.
They're calling us Elon. There you go. All right.
They're Malcolm Gray. There's a reason Malcolm Gray wins the awards and not the Rhode Island.
Well said.
Well said. I concur.
We got to talk ECU football schedule as well. A lot to get to with Igoe in hour 2. We're back with you after this.
PR927FM.com is the Pirate Nation's home to stream Pirate Radio live or archived anytime.
Malcolm Gray, the Director of Media Relations. We were on the bus heading to Wilmington, and it was a 6:30 game, and we started seeing all those tweets. We're like, this doesn't look good. No. And then all of a sudden, we hear the Ivy League's canceled. So we're like, and Zach Womack, our athletic trainer, he sits right beside me. He said, did you see this? I was like, no. I said, who's going to go tell Cliff? And, because he's up there. Y'all draw straws?
Yeah. PR927FM.com, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
The best place in Greenville to unwind and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's is open every day with great food and great drink specials. During the week, stop by for open mic, music on the patio, or sports trivia with me, Clip Rock. The weekends are made for sports and live music. Watch every game from NCAA hoops, NHL, NASCAR, plus live music every Friday and Saturday night. Plus, stay tuned. The countdown to St. Patrick's Day is on. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and online at ajmcmurphys.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
This is Dr. Chris Hasty with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. For more than 35 years, we've been taking care of the student athletes at East Carolina University. We are happy to have received the designation of official team physicians from the university. Whether you need assistance with a sports injury or it's time for that joint replacement, my colleagues and I are here to help. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges. And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
Hi, this is Billy Parker from Parker's Barbecue. I am so excited to announce a brand new menu item now available at all Parker's locations. Come in for our delicious new boneless wings. Our wings are fresh, hand-cut, right there in the store. Never frozen, and our wings are big. Try them tossed in one of our signature sauces, sweet red barbecue sauce or barbecue honey mustard. Get a boneless wing bag for less than $5. That includes 6 boneless wings with hush puppies and corn sticks. Parker's Barbecue, a homemade tradition for over 50 years.
This is what you want. This is how you get it. For less during Bostic Sugg Furniture's President's Day sale. Beautiful furniture at historic savings up to 15% off. All in stock. Custom orders, bedding, and clearance up to 15% off. Plus 12 months special financing or 60 months special financing. Step up to better sleep on a comfortable Restonic mattress and get a free box spring. It's a President's Day sale not to be missed. Going on now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Been pulled over for speeding and written a ticket? Then you need to call O'Neill's Speedometer Service in Greenville. O'Neill's can calibrate all vehicles for speeding tickets. All-wheel drives, no problem. 18-wheelers, no problem. Motorcycles, no problem. O'Neill's can also repair instrument gauges that have stopped working. Whether you drive a Ford or GMC, Greenville's trusted speedometer shop for over 30 years is O'Neill's. Call today for repairs or calibration work at 756-5050. O'Neill's Speedometer Service. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back to the show. UBE, an ECU tradition for over 50 years. You can shop online anytime at pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for Pirates of all ages. Every day is game day at UBE. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Welcome back into the show, Hour 2. Got Troy D.
You spelled it wrong.
All right, I see. We're looking something up on the interwebs here. Stephen Igoe is here.
What's up, man?
Steven, you're in a kind of a down mood today. Everything all right?
Yeah. It's just this weather's got me down. It's been a long, tough time. As you
what
read
in
this
the
Wikipedia
world?
page.
I'm looking at the guy's Wikipedia page. He's an American columnist, journalist, and radio commentator. He has risen to cult fame status through his numerous internet columns. What in the world? We were talking about like who writes people's Wikipedia pages, and this guy clearly wrote his own.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, I thought this was someone writing a Wikipedia page about Igoe.
No shot.
You know what?
That would have been hilarious.
I would have to write it myself.
You know what? We should do that, Shirley.
Write a Wikipedia page for Igoe?
Yeah, and submit it.
Yeah, I was going to say, at least he's got one. I don't even have one.
He knows he's known as the homeless dressing blonde kid. And he is here today to talk sports with us, ECU athletics. Igoe, you know what? Let's start with hoops because you teased it on Tuesday. I was wearing my Blue Jays alternate hat with the leaf on the hat, and you said, everybody check out the hat. That's a little tip on what could be coming up involving ECU basketball recruiting. And sure enough, the Pirates land a commitment from the Great North, from Canada.
Yeah, Marlon Lesson, a 6'9" athletic forward out of Halton Prep in Canada. He was actually born in Haiti, moved to Canada when he was fairly young. Played some in the U.S. I think he started in Vegas and then played in New York and then transferred back to Canada for this season. So he's kind of been all over. He's only been playing basketball 3 to 4 years, but really athletic kid. You know, it's kind of hard to find out a lot about him because he was kind of under the radar. But ECU watched him prior to the pandemic, January of 2020, really got to kind of evaluate him, see what he's all about, and they offered early. You know, Providence, UMass, a couple others were in there. There was some talk out of some reports from Canada that he was thinking about going straight to the pros. You know, probably not good enough to go straight to the NBA or anything like that. but just go to play professionally, because he wants to make money long term playing basketball. But I think he ultimately decided to play college basketball. ECU has been the favorite for some time. George Wright-Easy, who's done a really good job this recruiting cycle, kind of led his recruitment and got it done.
Igoe, you had me at 6'9" athletic. Can he step out and shoot? Does he play around the rim?
He's more of a. It's kind of hard to get a feel for the film because he's not playing against very good people from the film out there. So he's out there dribbling and driving and shooting.
So he can handle the ball a little bit?
Yeah, for 6'9". Yeah. I think he's going to be more of a the guys for SMU that kind of play on the perimeter. He doesn't look like, and it's hard to say for sure without seeing him in person, but he doesn't look like a guy that's going to go in the paint and bang around. He doesn't have that type of body. Now maybe he could eventually get there.
That's fine. We need a versatile.
Yeah, they need somebody who can step out and do some different things and just make plays athletically, kind of like a Maurice Kemp. Not saying he's going to be that good or anything, but he just kind of looks like that. He's got kind of a long release on his shot. They'll probably have to quicken that up a little bit, but he can shoot, he can dribble, finish in the paint, jump, dunk, all that sort of stuff. He's raw, but I like his upside.
Did you say, did I read this is the fourth commit?
Yeah.
So
they've already signed 3, and he's the 4th.
What are the off the top of your head, the sizes of the other guys, real quick?
So you got
Felton, right?
6'3", R.J. Felton out of South Carolina. He's more of a true guard, and then you got a wing and Alexis Reyes from the Northeast, who is highly recruited. Creighton, Providence, a couple other schools like that on him. He is listed at 6'8". I don't know if he's quite 6'8", but he's at least 6'7". And then Tay Mosher out of Texas, the Colony High School, is 6'7".
Okay, I like that. I mean, you like this class they put together?
I do. I like this class. I think it's, that there was a couple of point guards early that they were really high on that they missed on that went to Louisville, and a couple other. NC State, Breon Pass went to NC State. But for the most part, the wings and the big guys they focus on, kind of honed in on, they've really gotten. And Felton was a guard they honed in on. They saw these kids prior to the pandemic, so they have a pretty good feel. You're still not 100% sure because you haven't seen them in over a year. But a lot of schools are taking these kids sight unseen outside of some video streams. So I think it helped ECU. You look at what's coming back and what's coming in, you'd still maybe like to explore the transfer portal or add another guard or something like that, which I think they'll do. But it'll be an interesting offseason. I don't think they're done with movement just yet.
Well, so do you get Tremont back another year?
Well, he's only a junior, so he could technically come back 2 years.
Right. Oh, yeah, okay. And you were hoping, you being the collective, we, that Noah Farrakhan would be a little further along right now. He's kind of been MIA, but I know the plan is for him to be the point guard of the future. So, you've got a couple options there if they are to return, right?
Yeah, you would think, the interesting thing is they've offered 3 point guards in the past 2 weeks, so clearly something's up there. I don't know if they're trying to make sure in case something happens. They've got all their bases covered. But, you have theoretically 3 point guards that should be back next year. Tremont Robinson-White, who's a junior. And again, all the classes will stay the same because of the COVID year.
Are you counting Tristan?
Tristan Newton has been playing on the ball more lately. He's a sophomore, even at 6'5". And then Farrakhan is a true freshman. So you have 3 point guards, but it looks like they want to add one more. So I don't know. The Farrakhan thing is interesting. He was highly recruited. He probably expected to play a lot. That hasn't happened. I'm not suggesting he will or won't transfer, but it's a reality. You're talking about the one-time transfer rule is probably going to go into effect this summer. As many guys as we see in football transfer, I think basketball already had that culture where if you don't play, you look to transfer. So we'll see what happens. You always got to recruit, especially in basketball. It seems like it's a revolving door, and you can never really. I did a roster projection today for Hoist the Colors. Right now, if you count the incoming signees and all the seniors coming back, you have the potential for 16 scholarship kids. Now, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's many different ways it can shake out, depending on who wants to go, what seniors want to come back, what seniors want to move on. Does ECU want to add any transfers? So there's just a lot that can unfold. for ECU.
So 2 years ago, it was the biggest roster turnover we'd ever seen in ECU basketball.
Huge.
Last year, the least turnover we've ever seen. Next year, or this offseason, sounds like it could be another year of turnover, maybe with guys exiting the program and new players coming in.
I think you want to find a happy medium. You don't want to. Nobody wants to go through the
where you had Jaden and everybody else left.
You had to recruit 11 new scholarship players.
Right.
Like, that's just almost too many holes to plug. I don't want to speak for the coaching staff, but I would think if it's now they got 4 guys committed, and really, you look at it, a lot of the guys they signed in that 11-man class were in the spring or over the summer. They were kind of late additions. You already have these handful of guys in the fold. Now it's more of finding out, hey, what's 1 or 2 more spots maybe we can upgrade, or maybe we can add an impact guy to really kind of take this thing to the next level. Because you almost have to look at it as you've got probably the best player in school history in Jaden Gardner. That window is not going to stay open forever.
Yeah,
you kind of want to strike while you have an opportunity, and I think if you could get another scorer to go along with Jaden, another impact guy, which is easier said than done, you could make them pretty good quickly. I don't feel like they're that far away. I mean, I know we've said that a long time. We always say next year, but
you look at the game. If you want to be glass half full and have that mindset, you can look at the games and see that they've been in every game in the second half in conference play outside of Memphis.
That was the game, and I think they're closer. Yes, they're in last place in the conference standings right now, but I think COVID has made an impact on the development of the team. I think some guys have maybe not improved as much as you thought they would due to COVID, or just not having a full offseason, but I feel like they're still closer. I mean, if you compare this roster to where Dooley was in year 1 with what he took over, they're a lot closer, and I think the class they signed makes them even closer. I think now if you can retain the right guys and add the right guys, you can get there fairly quickly.
Stephen Igoe. Woo, Stephen. I like hoist the colors. I almost feel like we're having an off-season discussion for basketball while we're in season. It's because we just haven't.
Because the team isn't. Are they even practicing right now?
I don't know. And how many games are they going to play the rest of the year? I don't know.
And they just got a commitment, which spurs the roster discussion.
I'm not saying it's over, but I'm kind of looking ahead to 2021, 22.
That's what we always do in February of basketball season.
Wait till next year, folks.
But I mean, really, I've been excited I was excited for the Temple games. I felt like ECU had a legit shot to win both those games and get some momentum. And I mean, what can you do when you can't play? I just don't. At this point, I don't really know what to make of the season at all. I mean, it's just such a cluster.
All right, we've got football scheduled to discuss. We got some baseball as well. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We will get Igoe's thoughts on the 2021 ECU football schedule. If you like your bye smack dab in the middle of the season, well, you're in luck, folks. We'll talk about that. The non-Saturday games, how it breaks down home and away, all of that on the way on Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday. Back with you after this.
Jersey Mike's, app is short for appetizing because you'll save 25% with the code JMikes25, but only when you use the Jersey Mike's app, February 15th through 18th. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above. At Jersey Mike's, app is short for appetizing because you'll save 25% with the code JMikes25, but only when you use the Jersey Mike's app, February 15th through 18th. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
You demand perfection. That's why you drive the perfect car. Okay, maybe it's not exactly perfect, but it's perfect to get you to Domino's for their perfect $7.99 carry-out deal. Carry out any 3-topping pizza or a 10-piece order of wings, smothered in delicious sauces like hot buffalo, garlic parmesan, and honey barbecue, just $7.99 each. Demand the perfect carry-out deal at Domino's. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Hey Pirate fans, it's time to get your yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 3/1/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-bread and hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
National Signing Day has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the recruiting news cycle is stopping. In fact, the Pirates still have their sights set on top targets in the transfer portal and have already turned their attention to the 2022 class. HoistTheColors.net has the latest on ECU recruiting from a football perspective, and we also cover basketball and baseball commitments like no others. Sign up now and get your first month for a single $1 to get the latest scoop on your favorite Pirate teams, along with in-depth baseball and spring football coverage in the months ahead. HoistTheColors.net.
Did you know your small change can make a difference? The next time you visit McDonald's, please consider rounding up for the Ronald McDonald House. Your change adds up and can help many folks in Eastern North Carolina. Just $10 can provide a free night stay for families with sick children here in Eastern North Carolina and across the state. Just ask your cashier at checkout or choose to round up for RMHC when ordering through the McDonald's app. Thank you for visiting your local McDonald's owned by Dixon Foods and for your support of the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Pirate Radio. The voice of the Pirate Nation.
1, 2, 3,
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Domino's of Greenville has 3 locations to take care of you. Take advantage of the week-long carry-out deal of all 3 topping pizzas for only $7.99. Order online today at Domino's.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Stephen Igoe, Denver Broncos fan. Would you have given up a 3rd-round pick in this year's draft and a 2nd-rounder in next year's draft that could turn into a 1st-rounder to get Carson Wentz on the Broncos?
How much of the salary are they eating? Because Carson Wentz's contract was just ridiculous.
Good question. And I believe they're gulping it down.
I mean, if they're eating the whole thing.
Because Jeff Nadu said that was one of the bright spots.
Right.
That they do have a lot more room to make some moves now that Wentz is gone.
I wouldn't hate it. I
feel like they didn't give up. The Colts didn't give up that much to get a guy that we've seen play well. As Chandler said, think about it. Like, he was on track to be an MVP.
Yeah.
And the Super Bowl year.
but he just hasn't really been great since the.
He had a major drop off. Yeah, he turned into a turnover machine.
So I don't know, but also the Eagles' offensive line stunk. So I think he's probably better than what he showed last year, but he's probably not as good as his rookie year.
The Eagles will take a $33.8 million dead cap hit, largest dead cap hit any team has ever taken for a player. Colts will assume the balance of Wentz's $128 million extension, including $10 million guaranteed roster bonus.
So it sounds like the Eagles are paying for all of this year almost, but then the rest is on the Colts. So, I mean, you have to pay for average quarterback play this day and age. I don't know. I mean, to me, I probably would have done it, but I wouldn't be thrilled. Like, I almost would rather just roll the dice with Locke one more year as a cheap QB, see if he shows any improvement. Because I don't think Wentz, like we've had this discussion before, but I don't think Wentz is going to go to the Colts and like win a Super Bowl there.
Not everybody is a Ryan Tannehill that can have a career resurgence like a.
Now he would be the one, like if you're talking about Wentz, Mariota, Trubisky, like he would easily be the one that you would pick that's going to have a career resurgence.
Yeah,
I mean he's the most likely. But how for every Ryan Tannehill you have like 20 other guys who just go somewhere and flame out.
I'm fat. I mean,
including Tyrod Taylor.
Well, he is what he is. He's a. If the doctor didn't try to kill him, Chargers would have made the.
It was all part of the plan to get Herbert in the lineup.
I know it was genius. Should I start to get excited about the Cowboys not having Dak? Like
I mean, they're gonna have.
Not that I'm scared if Dak's their quarterback, but I would love to see them melt down and not have a quarterback. I mean, he doesn't have a deal right now.
He doesn't, but they're not going to let Dak walk because for the exact reason you say, like they're trying to play hardball, but they've been playing hardball with Dak for like 2 years now.
Exactly.
Like, somebody give in.
Yeah. All right. That injury didn't help the situation for either side either.
No.
Igoe, the schedule has dropped, and
out of nowhere,
you're critical of the way it was dropped.
Yeah.
Not a lot of fanfare.
Well, I just think that I said this on my podcast, Emergency Pod, about the schedule release. I just feel like the American wants to be this Power 6 league and like big time league. You look at all the Power 5 conferences, even Conference USA. Like there was some type of hype on Twitter or on social media, just about hey, the schedule's coming. You know, mark your calendar. This is the schedule release date. I know the American doesn't have its own TV network, so they can't do the grand reveal like the SEC did and the ACC network did, but you know, why not build some hype around it, man? Make it an event. Make it an event on social media, not just drop it at 11 a.m. on a Thursday when nobody's expecting it. But hey, here's the schedule. And by the way, we don't have any dates set for our conference games, but we do know the week that they're being played, which is an exaggeration. But
right, let's.
I just feel like American wants to be Power 6. Well, then start acting like Power 6.
There's no such thing as Power 6.
Well, yeah, because they don't act like Power 6, Clip.
Okay, Steven.
Don't get me fired up.
It could be a total goat rodeo.
I never thought you'd go in a soapbox about the schedule dropping.
I mean,
you're in one of those moods, man.
I'm in when you're a writer and you're trying to plan your day out. I got my content plan. I'm like, all right, we're good. You know, we got Zoom at 12:30. We got baseball opening day tomorrow, so we're dropping this huge baseball preview. You know, got it all planned out. Got Chris Foster interview that I'm writing, and then all of a sudden the schedule drops. I'm like, I could have made an entire day or two around the schedule drop, and the American decides to just drop it. And for me, I'm not going to write as much content about it as I would normally. Therefore, the awareness for the 3 people that I affect on Twitter, it's going to be lower, and that has a cumulative effect.
I never realized how tough you have it. You will be in my thoughts and prayers.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You got it. All right. The first thing I look at when the schedule drops is non-Saturday games. The second thing I look at is when is the bye week. Let's hit on those real quick. The bye week is right smack dab in the middle of everything.
Couldn't draw it up any better.
You play 6, you're off a week, you play your final 6. The Pirates will not play the open date October 16th. That'll be their Saturday off. As far as non-Saturday games, we already knew about the opener against App State to kick off the season. That's a Thursday night, Thursday to be announced. Could be Thursday afternoon.
I hope not.
Could be Thursday at noon. Who knows? Likely a night game there, but still no time. That one at Bank of America Stadium. Then you get down the schedule, back-to-back home games against USF and Temple, which could be a nice little stretch for the Pirates there. Very winnable games, Igoe. And what days are these games on? Because
it says
the game will be played either October 28th or October 30th.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing for Temple. Now, I haven't looked at other schedules. Are other teams' schedules saying this as well?
I imagine the American probably has maybe a game or two tied into that window, and they're like waiting. I don't know if they're going to do it this offseason or what to make a determination, but maybe trying to figure out what game is more attractive in terms of TV ratings. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if this is the ESPN decision or the American decision or both.
Right.
But I would assume that maybe there's like a 2 or 3 games in those windows that are in the same boat. Yeah, there's the Navy game.
So I'm looking at Memphis' schedule.
Yeah, and theirs says the same thing for Navy and Tulane, but they're different. Looks like different weekends, maybe.
Yeah, it is. So I guess as of right now, this is scheduled to be a Thursday game, but it could be Saturday. I don't know. I'm very confused.
I mean, yeah, the game will either be Thursday or Saturday. That's all we know.
Okay, thanks, American. You know what? I'm with you. This stinks.
What if they have back-to-back Thursday games? But then you didn't even go down to Cincinnati. That could be a Friday or Saturday.
It could be. That's the after Thanksgiving game.
But when do they make these decisions? Like 12 days out?
Off season or during the season?
I think it's got to be going into the season. Like, you can't wait till after the season starts and just be like, oh, yeah, we're going to play that game on a Thursday and give ECU a short week.
As we learned this year, though,
I mean, this is true.
Schedules don't even matter. You can just pick up a game on Tuesday and play it that Saturday. So that we knew the non-conference, you got neutral site, home against South Carolina at Marshall and Charleston Southern at home. Tulane's a huge game.
That's
right out of the gate.
That's the game I circled. I have a calendar, and I circled it. I circled October 2nd, and I wrote down, this is it.
This is it?
Yeah. This is it. This is the swing. This is the swing game of the 2021 season.
It kind of sets the tone, right?
Yeah, this is it.
It's a tone setter. This is it.
If you go and you lose that game in similar fashion to this past season against Tulane at home, then I think
I can't wait till that week.
I think you're probably going to be like a bottom half AAC team. But if you win that game, all of a sudden you can start to think, all right, we jumped the Tulane team that's usually right in the middle of the standings, and you can keep moving up the ladder.
You know why? It's all. I can't wait for that game week and that game day, because this hashtag "This is it" will be trending worldwide. We're going to get that going.
This is it.
You know why else it's important, Stephen? At UCF, at Houston, back to back. Those are less winnable than Tulane at home.
Yeah, exactly. And especially the UCF game. I don't know what to make of Houston.
Yeah.
Like, they're just weird. Dana Holgerson, like, I thought he would do really good there, but like every time
we hadn't played Dana yet, have we?
No, this is the first. This is it. But every time I've watched Houston on TV, he is so mad. Like, he looks like he just hates his life. Like, I watched their bowl game. I can't remember who they played, but they just played terrible. Hawaii, maybe. And they were just getting smacked. And
I hope that Stevenson guy's gone, the receiver.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that his son transferred out of the program.
Really?
Yes.
Holgerson's kid?
Yep, Holgerson's kid.
Had to get away from dad? Is he a quarterback?
He's a quarterback. He played a decent amount for them, and he is transferred out, which I don't even know, like, if does that speak to, like, Dana just wanting to move on from his son, or his son wanting to move on from his dad? Like, how does that conversation go?
Dad, I'm moving out.
I can't take your coach anymore, Dad.
Yeah. Or what if he was like, kid, you stink. You got to go. Go elsewhere.
Wouldn't shock me.
I talked to my friend at Houston Community College. He says they're looking for a quarterback. You can go there.
Tarleton State will take you.
All right. I'm seeing little pockets here. You know what pockets? Like little.
Yeah, like little pockets.
Little pockets. Charleston Southern at home, Tulane at home. That's a very winnable pocket. At UCF, at Houston, tough pocket. USF at home, Temple at home,
winnable pocket.
Very little winnable pocket. At Memphis, at Navy, tough pocket.
At Memphis, at Navy versus Cincinnati.
Yeah,
that's a tough stretch. It's not even a pocket.
Yeah, that's if you go 3 games, that's a stretch. As we all know, a pocket is 2, a stretch is 3 or more. But you look at it that way, You know, I don't know. I kind of like the way it sets up in some regards with these back-to-back home games that they have. Then again, I hate the back-to-back road games that the Pirates have coming up this year.
At least you get a bye between
UCF and Houston. Good point.
If you had to go UCF, Houston, and Memphis Navy, 2 back-to-back, that would be tough. You know, I think the Navy thing is interesting. I think you almost would rather play them towards the end of the season because I feel like early in the year...
Strong disagree.
I feel like early in the year, now maybe they're with the new quarterback, it's a different argument, but they do different things coming out of every offseason.
Strong disagree. I had to cut Igoe's mic. Sorry. Why? Okay, explain that to me again. Why you would want to play Navy at the end of the year?
They do different things coming out of every offseason against teams that defend them a certain way. So the more you can see them on film, and they're likely going to have a new quarterback, the more you can see them on film with a new quarterback, the more you'll get to see them against different defenses and say, here's what they did against this type of alignment, here's what they did against this type of alignment. So I think once you get to game 11, I think you know more of how they're going to adjust to your defense.
Strong disagree. I'd rather play them early in the season when they don't have their fine-tuned option.
Yeah, because that worked so well against Navy in 2019 with Malcolm Perry, first year starting quarterback.
Okay, it worked pretty well last year for BYU when they won 58-3.
That's because that quarterback wasn't even good.
It worked well for ECU.
Did it?
Yeah.
I mean, they played in the middle of the season.
Okay, I'd rather get them in the middle than the end.
Strong disagree.
It's a tough pocket either way.
I just want to get them.
Did you just strong disagree me?
Yes.
Wow. It's the first time that boomerang has come back to me. This is a long build-up. Disagree. Thank you. All right.
I mean, in reality, I would rather just want to not see Navy anywhere on the schedule.
Yeah, I guess.
That's an agreement we can have.
Is this the year?
No. I mean, again, they're going to find a quarterback because they're not going to go through another year with
I'm excited.
Bad quarterback play.
I can go into a season and predict ECU to beat Temple.
Excitement time.
Thank you, Mike.
And South Florida.
Yeah.
Excitement time.
I mean, and probably Tulane, too, even though...
No.
Really? I feel like we've done
we're going to predict it, especially...
We've done a reverse on that. I feel like in the past it was like, we can beat Tulane, and I'm like, no, dude. They're Willie Fritz, man. Ever heard of him? Good coach.
You get Ronnie in here, he definitely thinks ECU can beat Tulane. Because he thinks...
Because they have no talent?
Yeah.
They're not a talented team.
Yeah, not...
That's the Ronnie Woodward line. Yep. All right, there's the schedule. Good stuff, Igoe. Good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, here's the real thing. You look at the schedule. What game on the schedule do you say ECU is 100% going to win? Charleston Southern. What game do you say they're 100% going to lose?
At UCF.
Probably Cincinnati and UCF. Outside of that, every game is almost like for the taking, but all the games are tough. Like App State and South Carolina, to me, are both winnable. I'm not going to say ECU is going to beat South Carolina, but if you're going to beat South Carolina, would this not be the year?
You've got new coach with South Carolina, Marshall.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect from Marshall. You know, it's a first-time head coach. South Carolina, first-time head coach. They're coming to your place.
If everything was equal and we didn't have the coach wrinkle in there, I'd almost say I feel better about South Carolina at home than I do at Marshall.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Let's guess the line here on February. Like, what are the spreads of those games going to be? I wonder who Marshall has before they play ECU. Let me look at that real quick.
And the other thing, too, is if it's a packed Gowdy-Ficklin, I think that gives ECU 3.5 points, if not more.
I like the Cincinnati game less now because it's day after Thanksgiving. Yeah. Even if you can have fans.
But they're traveling day after Thanksgiving. They're traveling during Thanksgiving, which can be troubling.
Cincinnati played ECU on the day after Thanksgiving in Ruffs last year, right? When the dude hit the field goal.
Dude hit the field goal again.
Marshall is at Navy. Maybe they'll have some cut legs, and then they get to play NC Central after that. So that's their schedule before taking on ECU. I don't know.
So basically a de facto bye week before ECU.
Pretty much.
But ECU gets a de facto bye week before Tulane. I want to say Marshall Or I want to say, I don't know what I'm saying.
You want to say it.
South Carolina plays some weak team to start the year. So, like, the ECU game will be their first real test, which means they can probably save stuff for ECU. But, I mean, that...
Oh, yeah, the Citadel or something.
Wow. Well, he can take a shot at Mike Houston's former team like that.
I'm not. I'm saying they play in South Carolina.
They play a much weaker team than Citadel.
Eastern Illinois.
I can't say I've ever heard of Eastern Illinois.
Is that Tony Romo? Tony Romo? Thank you, Chandler. And Shirley. Eastern Illinois. They play the Romos. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back.
You never guessed the line.
So let's go South Carolina minus 6.
7. ECU will be coming off a win over App.
I got them both at 6. Marshall minus 6, South Carolina minus 6.
What about App?
App minus
3.5.
4. Yeah, 3.5.
I got South Carolina 7.5.
Okay.
And Marshall 3.5.
Okay. All right.
4.5.
Guess the line in February. We'll do that 100 more times before we kick things off in 2021. Final word from Igoe on ECU baseball before they get their season underway when we return on Pirate Radio Live. We will be back with you after these words.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
You can paint these peaches purple.
Classic sports moments never get old, and neither does classic food from CPW's. CPW's classic menu is back with all of your favorites like tortellini CPW's, Cajun chicken and pasta, classic lasagna, the garbage pizza, the stromboli, calzone, Atlantic salmon, the Cajun fried shrimp wrap, and more. Start every meal off with your favorite beverage and CPW's fresh baked bread and garlic butter. CPW's, serving classics in Greenville since 1995. Stanton Square near the hospital.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Are you trying to reduce clutter? Want to save a tree? Greenville Utilities can help. E-bill is a simple solution. Imagine getting an email letting you know your bill is ready. And with a few clicks on your computer or smartphone, you can review and pay your bill. It's just that easy. Signing up is simple. All you need to do is to log onto your account at guc.com and update your contact information and e-bill setting. You can even continue to receive a paper bill if you'd like. E-bill from Greenville Utilities. Just one of the ways GUC is here for you.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges. And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's ices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
It's bow time. There's something special about the first bite of a Bojangles Cajun Filet biscuit. Like an edible alarm clock that slaps you awake with bold Cajun flavor. The moment you sink your teeth into that soft, fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit, then strike gold with a juicy piece of fried chicken, you'll know. Nothing beats the first bite. Except the second first bite. Get a Cajun Filet Biscuit combo for just $4.99. It's bow time.
Pirate Radio.
It's great to be on. This is an honor. You know, Pirate Radio is kind of a cult following around North Carolina, so I'm excited.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Tommy's Express Car Wash. Come and experience the difference at Tommy's. Now open at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville. Doesn't your car deserve it? You can visit Tommy's Express Car Wash today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. One more segment to go with Stephen Igoe, HoistTheColors.net, Hoist the Colors podcast, Hoist the Colors clothing line. Do y'all have a clothing line?
Yeah.
Should.
It's unreleased to the public, though. We need to work on that.
When's your big rollout?
Soon.
Summer?
So people, I've been getting some crap for not coming up with more Hoist the Colors shirts. I gave you one back in the day.
Yeah. I wear it. I haven't in a while now that I think about it.
You used to wear it all the time.
I did.
As I said that, I'm like, man, you haven't worn that shirt in a long time.
I really haven't. It was a nice T-shirt.
But either way, we came out with a new logo. I haven't done anything since, and I got in trouble with our members because I'm like, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But then I came out with the onesie announcement, the Hoist the Colors logo. So they're like, man, you have time for your kid who's not even born yet, but not us.
But not us losers.
Yeah. So I need to get on that.
I thought before I remembered the whole kid thing, you said we came out with onesies. I don't know, we're selling Hoist the Colors onesies.
Everybody's a big fan.
I tell you what, Igoe, if you want to give me a hat with the Hoist the Colors logo on it, fitted, I'll wear it. I'll be a walking billboard for you.
I'll do that.
And everybody will say, that's an awesome hat. What's that? And I'll be like, it's my buddy's website, HoistTheColors.net. Great info there. So
I will do that. I'll get you and Chandler a hat, and Shirley as well, and then we'll have hat day every Tuesday.
All right, sounds good.
I'm down with it.
I'm up for it. She's down with it.
Let's do
it.
So let's do it.
What were you going to say,
I
Chandler?
will definitely don that hat.
Okay.
Oh, don it.
Don it. Okay.
Yeah.
Not just wear it, but you'll don it.
Don
yeah.
Stephen, we were wrong in at least the leadoff hitter for ECU baseball, as we found out today. Cliff Godwin saying Bryson Worrell will be the leadoff hitter. Corey Glore hinted at that yesterday. Yeah. He had inside info. He's an inside man, so I'm not counting his prediction. But it is reminiscent of a Packard hitting leadoff a little bit, because although Worrell is more conventional than Packard, because Bryson Worrell has elite speed, right? So
yeah, good speed.
You could kind of see him more as a leadoff guy, but I don't know. Cliff Godwin likes to mix it up, do different things, so we knew it was going to be different than what we said. But
100%.
What do you think about Worrell leading off for the Pirates?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It goes with Cliff. He likes to have kind of an unconventional leadoff guy. I guess the best way to put it is he likes to have his best hitters hitting at the top of the lineup. So he's not afraid to put Packard, clearly Worrell, or whoever at the top. It makes sense in that theory. He's going to have the most plate appearances every time, and so that makes sense. The baseball traditionalist and you kind of says maybe he would make more sense in the middle where he can drive in more runs, but at the same time, baseball, you can go away from the conventional thinking and still be very successful. I mean, clearly, ECU hosted back-to-back regionals with Bryant Packard hitting leadoff. So, I'm not going to really question what Cliff does too much. He knows his team and personnel much better than me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's just it's always fun to see the lineup on opening day. I'm sure tomorrow we will see it, and we'll be like, man, how wrong were we?
What? How wrong were we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Way wrong. We'll see.
How wrong were we, Whirl?
Tough to say. Looking forward to the start of the season. I tell you what, Cliff Godwin is hyping me up to see Carson Wisenhunt on Sunday. I can tell you that. He talked about him more today. Talked with Coach O earlier in the show, Igoe, about how much we love Jake Kuchmaner because of his pace on the mound. And love doing PA for a Kuchmaner game because those games are usually shorter than others.
Super quick. And definitely a fan favorite, a media favorite. Is a great quote. Did I send you the picture of his freshman year where he had hair? I need to show you that.
Yeah.
It's really odd to see Jake Kuchmaner with hair.
Yeah.
I sent it to Ronnie, and he thought it was a Photoshop. But his freshman year profile picture, he had hair, and I guess he just decided to get rid of it.
Interesting. I'm trying to find like an old picture of him, but
if you go to Google Images, maybe I think it comes up.
Was 2017 around that time? And he's bald there. Oh, there's some hair.
Yep, there it is. Isn't that the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
That is very strange. It's like a different. He looks like an old man there, kind of. I don't know. The hair.
So you're saying he looks younger?
The bald, he looks younger to me for some reason.
Yeah.
That's weird. But anyway, looking forward to Cooch. Anybody, we have not, we've been building this season up and talking about it now for days and hours and weeks. But anything we haven't touched on, like any players you're excited to see this weekend?
The one guy I've heard dating back to the fall that nobody's really talked about because he's a true freshman and there's a ton of guys in front of him is Josh Groves. He's a 6'4", 190-pound right-hander. He's been up to 95. And I think he dealt with some COVID protocols, but he's got big-time stuff. And he's lanky, lengthy, really good upside. I don't know how much he'll pitch this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if, the game is out of hand, they throw him out there and he just kind of blows people away with his stuff. Even though he's still got to refine some things. His stuff is probably good enough to play against a Rhode Island or whoever.
Godwin brought in some basketball recruits because this is Moylan 6'4" as well, 6'3", 6'4", some size.
Next year they got a 6'7" kid coming in.
Oh wow! So some size on this ECU baseball team. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, weather permitting. I don't think it's looking too great for Friday. We shall see. Could be a double dip on Saturday.
Coach seems to think they'll play though.
But the most positive news is he said, I think you asked him what's the protocol for COVID for Rhode Island, right? What do they have to give their results or anything? He said from a COVID standpoint, Pirates and Rams are good to go. They're making the trip as we speak, I would guess, right, Igoe?
Yeah.
So they'll be here for some baseball on Friday. That's good news.
All clear, ready to roll, and now it's just getting out there and doing it. And I'll be glad I'm not sitting in the stands.
Yeah, true.
I mean, as much as people want to go to the games, even if it was regular attendance, I don't think this weekend will be heavily attended due to the weather.
Yeah, it's ugly out there. But you'll be able to watch it on either ECUPirates.com or ESPN Plus. Follow Pirate Radio's social media. Follow Hoist the Colors. We'll keep you up to date on everything going on with the 2021 ECU baseball season. All right, Igoe, before we let you out of here, anything else we did not touch on today? Oh, what did you think of Fernando Tatis's contract with the Padres?
It's crazy, man. I mean, I think it
seems like when Mike Mullis and I talk about, we'll never see one of these Pujols Trout deals again. They pop up, and this one popped up last night.
And at least he's still super young, though. Like, it makes more sense now than to do it at the end of his first free agency. Because at that point, he's 28, 29, and then you're signing him to Pujols, what did he sign, a 12-year deal or something insane?
While he was already a veteran.
Yeah, so by then, when the Mariners signed Robinson Cano to a 10-year deal, they pretty much admitted, hey, we're paying for the first 5 years, or we're paying for the first 5 years of production, but we're paying for 10 years. And they were very lucky the Mets were stupid enough to take that off their hands and trade away a top prospect in the process of doing that.
I just hope Ronald Acuna doesn't see this. I mean, he got an 8-year.
Ronald Acuna he could not have been more short-sighted to sign that contract.
$100 million, 8-year, and Tatis got what? Let's see, 14-year, $340 million. So
the Braves, when the Braves signed Acuna and Albies to those contracts, people in the industry were kind of saying that they swindled their own top stars. Like, it's good business, but they also kind of took advantage of them in a way.
Maybe,
but if they're willing to sign the contract,
I know,
and their representatives are, I don't have a problem with that.
And they're both kids.
Yeah.
I don't even know if either one can drink yet.
8 years, $100 million is still pretty dang good,
right? So they're not facing poverty or anything, but
he's only getting paid an annual average salary of $12.5 million.
But it's all relative to what you're doing and what you're worth. And if he looks around and sees Tatis is making that money, if I'm Acuna, I'm like, wait a minute, what did I just do? So I just hope none of that stuff happens.
I think Albies was the one that was even worse. They got him super cheap, relatively speaking. But again, if the
Braves can still say, we don't know, we haven't seen a big sample size of you performing, so but they're not really taking a risk. Let's be honest with these contracts. They got great team-friendly deals there.
Right.
$35 million, 7-year contract.
Yeah, so Ozzy's making $5 million a year. So
that's pretty insane, actually.
Yeah, they that was the one that really a lot of people were mad at. But again, you're talking about these kids coming from the Dominican or wherever they're from, and they want to get paid. They want to help their families and friends, and it's a big deal. So.
And they're fine for the rest of their lives now anyway. So.
You're signing a $45 million contract. You can't be so mad.
No. All right, I'll take one. I can tell you that.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out, Steven. Enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We'll talk more Pirate football. Get a little Pirate baseball in as well with Troy D. He'll join me when we return after this. The best place in Greenville to unwind and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's is open every day with great food and great drink specials. During the week, stop by for open mic, music on the patio, or sports trivia with me, Clip Rock. The weekends are made for sports and live music. Watch every game from NCAA hoops, NHL, NASCAR, plus live music every Friday and Saturday night. Plus, stay tuned. The countdown to St. Patrick's Day is on. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bell's Fork, and online at ajmcmurphys.com.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Whether you're flying for business or for pleasure, enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport to get you where you're going and then home again safely. For your next trip, remember, American Airlines is back at PGV. Book today at aa.com. Pitt Greenville Airport, where the pirates fly.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Got big dreams for your small business? You're not alone. The Gavigan Agency Insurance Services is a growing business too. That's why they work with Nationwide, the #1 small total business insurer in the U.S. Nationwide can help protect and grow your business so you can focus on making your small business dreams come true. Give the Gavigan Agency Insurance Services a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with RentAFishTank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. RentAFishTank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. RentAFishTank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at RentAFishTank.com.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. University PC Care has been Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. University PC Care are the local tech support experts for any of your business needs. Let University PC Care take care of it so you can take care of business. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Thursday, Hour 3 of the program. We've got a big Hour 3 on tap as Troy D joins us here inside the Pirate Radio studios. What's up, Troy?
Hey, Clip. Troy.
Good
to see you and Stu.
Troy.
For our Stu Finer friends.
Yeah.
It's good to get a shout out from Stu Finer. Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
In a much better mood than I thought I'd be considering the weather conditions outside, which are my least favorite, as you know.
We had back-to-back, like, rain-free, decent days, but
yeah,
it's back.
We're back to cold rain, dreary, overcast, full-blown depression mood. But
Troy's in Monday mode.
I had a great lunch at Parker's Barbecue.
That's good.
It was almost like a family-style deal. Had a little bit of everything, so that kind of pepped up my spirits. Saw some good folks in Farmville earlier today, so I feel pretty good, Clip.
All right, good.
Schedule got dropped.
Yeah, Troy D loves the football schedule.
I do. Although, I was thinking about this, not as usually, like, I live for moments like this. I don't know whether it's because I'm getting older or it's because we're in COVID times and I'm afraid the schedule's going to change.
Probably
and, how much is it really going to stick? And until it's here, is it real? But I didn't have the same, like, pop that it usually has for me.
Yeah. Usually you're running around the office. Schedule's here. Yeah. The schedule's here.
Yeah.
Today.
Handing out sheets to everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a much more mellow, subdued deal, but we'll talk about that. Also, speaking of football, by the way, high school football is here a week from Friday.
That's right.
The season kicks off. And I don't know if you've been following the story. Speaking of fans in the stands, as of right now, according to governor's orders, I believe there's a limit of 100 people can attend a high school football game. And that pretty much, if as many people that are on a team, if you give every player 2 passes, that's it. Like, it's full, right? I mean, there's
for the home team.
So that means, like, away parents can't, like, let's say Rose plays Conley. That's one of the great games over at Hollywood Crossroads. None of the Rose people, or vice versa. If it's at Rose, none of the Conley people could come. It's a hot mess. I think that is ridiculous. I understand if you want to have some social distancing measures in place and you want to limit it where it's not 10,000 people, but 100 is ridiculous. We've actually got a buddy, ECU alum, Trip Rokes, that lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, that is leading the charge to change this and is actually getting some traction on it. And they started an online petition. It's in the tens of thousands of signatures now. And they've gone and started getting the state legislators involved on this. And I think they've now got the governor's ear. And supposedly next week, there might be some movement on this, we're hearing. So anyway, Tripp is kind of heading this thing up. We're going to go out live to Charlotte later in the show. We're going to talk to him. So if you are a parent or a fan of high school football, you're going to want to stay tuned because we might have some potential breaking news concerning the attendance numbers of who can attend these games, which is a big deal, in my opinion. A very big deal because people want to see their kids play.
I think, too.
And fans want to go to the games.
It's a copycat deal where even if you're not a high school football fan, this could have ramifications moving forward for other outdoor sporting events.
Absolutely. If baseball.
If one thing does it, maybe another will do it.
That's right. And this could, and that's a great point, Clip. His big push was for high school football, but this could potentially affect college baseball.
Sure.
So if there is some type of new order that comes down next week, and once again, we're not saying there is, but we're going to go out to Trip and get the details on what they're working on and what they're hearing, that could have a potential positive effect across the board for these outdoor sports and attendance.
All right, Shirley, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We will talk about the football schedule later on in the hour. We'll talk to Trip Rokes about the high school attendance. And also, we got to open up the booty bag this hour as well. So a ton to get to here in hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. We're talking ECU football when we return after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a Cadillac XT6. Takes $6,000 off and 1.9% for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty for all make and models.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Looking for your next career opportunity? How about some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned and operated Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring, and they would love to have you as part of the McFamily. They offer flexible hours, competitive pay, and financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. Come join the family at McDonald's. Don't let this financial opportunity pass you by. Please visit DixonFoods.com to apply.
They say nothing in life is free. Well, we're here to tell you they're wrong. Because when you switch to US Cellular, you can get the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. That's right, the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G has launched and you can get it for free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular. Terms and conditions apply. See store or uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
National Signing Day has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the recruiting news cycle is stopping. In fact, the Pirates still have their sights set on top targets in the transfer portal and have already turned their attention to the 2022 class. HoistTheColors.net has the latest on ECU recruiting from a football perspective, and we also cover basketball and baseball commitments like no others. Sign up now and get your first month for a single $1 to get the latest scoop on your favorite Pirate teams, along with in-depth baseball and spring football coverage in the months ahead. HoistTheColors.net.
This is what you want. This is how you get it. For less during Bostic Sub Furniture's President's Day sale. Beautiful furniture at historic savings up to 15% off. All in stock. Custom orders, bedding, and clearance up to 15% off. Plus 12-month special financing or 60-month special financing. Step up to better sleep on a comfortable Restonic mattress and get a free box spring. It's a President's Day sale not to be missed. Going on now at Bostic Sub Furniture.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
We're midway through bath time, and 2 medium 2-topping Domino's pizzas for $5.99 each have begun their drive to the Smith's front door. That's a GPS-enabled custom delivery alert, folks. The newest improvement to the Domino's tracker, saying Domino's will be there in 2 minutes. They're calling it audible. Bath time's now rinse time. They've got 1 kid dry, 2 kids dry. The pizzas are here. They made it to the door. The kids are clean enough. The new Domino's tracker with GPS worked again.
2-item minimum. Pan pizza will be extra. Ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Brown & Wood is your home of the best selection of GMC, Cadillac, Buick, and Mazda in Eastern North Carolina for over 83 years. You can shop their entire inventory online at brownandwoodauto.com, or you can visit them on Greenville Boulevard in Greenville. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley Rhodes, meant to mention this when we go over our news items during the show open. ECU football, not the only schedule that came out today. We got a Wood Duck schedule for 2021. They will begin play May the 4th at the Kannapolis Cannonballers. They'll have their first home game against the Mudcats coming up on the 11th of May. So have not been able to get to Granger Stadium for a baseball game in a while, Troy D, but Wood Duck's back in 2021.
And I got to tell you, I missed it last year a lot. Yeah. That is a fun event, and I'm assuming that we're going to be able to get people in there again this year at some capacity, and that is a great time down there. And I'm definitely, that's on my list to do often as soon as the season starts.
Absolutely. Coming up in May. Coming up in September, Pirate football will be back, and the schedule was released today. First thing I look at, Troy, is non-Saturday games and bye week. When's the bye week?
Yeah.
Bye week is right smack dab in the middle of the season. They play 6 games. They're off. They play the final 6 games.
I mean, if you're going to have a bye week, if you're a coach, I couldn't imagine a more perfect scenario where you have it right in the middle of the season. It rarely happens like that for East Carolina. I can't remember the last time it's happened like that. But part of this thing is anticlimactic, too, because technically we already knew the teams we were going to play. The first month was already out, the dates. What we didn't have was the last 2/3 of the season in order, the actual dates. Yeah. But it's 3 Thursday night games for East Carolina, 1 Friday night game.
Maybe.
Well, according to the schedule, if it goes as is, a third of the schedule is going to be non-Saturday games, Clip.
Although if you go to ECUPirates.com,
it's a little weird.
I don't understand so the Thursday night games are App State.
It's like the USF game is a flex game now.
Yeah, like Sunday night football.
Correct. It's going to be Thursday night unless we flex it in a Saturday because we don't need it Thursday night.
But as of right now,
we being ESPN,
I guess they are scheduled to go on Thursday night. USF and Temple
currently
at the end of October,
and all this stuff
November.
As we've seen this year. Clip, everything's subject to change week by week, moment by moment. So that's why I don't get too keyed up about any of this stuff, because now, granted, I think it'll happen. Knock on wood. I think this season's going to be a lot more stable than last season. But the one thing we've all learned of this is expect the unexpected. And just because it's on the schedule now doesn't mean everything plays on time or when it's supposed to, or things can't happen.
There's some interesting back-to-backs in this schedule. I look at the Charleston Southern game at home and then the conference opener against Tulane. 2 winnable games there.
Yeah.
Then you go on the road at UCF at Houston.
Yeah.
2
losable games?
Losable games there.
Yeah.
Back home for
not being negative, just
USF and Temple, very winnable games there.
Yeah.
And then at Memphis at Navy, tough games. So it's kind of like you've got these little, I was calling them pockets with Igoe last hour, these little winnable pockets, tough pockets throughout the season.
And I think, looking at it, I think 6-6 is a real possibility this year with the Pirates hopefully being bowl eligible.
Yeah. It's out there. It's the non-conference is important if you want to get to a bowl game.
Yeah.
That Tulane game is huge to open up the conference season.
I think it's almost a must-win if you're going to go bowling. You got to win that Tulane
game. Because if you don't, you're next to at UCF at Houston.
It's going to get really tough.
It'll be tough to steal one of those.
Yeah. So I think 6 wins is a realistic, as far as moving the program forward and where it's been would be the next step in the right direction.
Absolutely. And, hoping for that for 2021 that we can get back to a bowl game. Troy, we got to know Tim Doust yesterday on the show. Mm-hmm. Did you hear any of that conversation?
A little bit of it. He sounded like he was pretty fired up to be in Greenville.
He won the initial interview on Pirate Radio.
That really was as good as his press conference because there was no real press conference. So this was it right here.
I asked him what he knew about ECU before arriving. This is cut 1, Shirley. And here's what Tim Doust had to say yesterday on Pirate Radio Live.
Well, kind of proud of myself being a football junkie, so I know 2 things about ECU, that there's a great, great tradition, in particular in football around here. So that has jumped out to me. And then, second, what was Coach Houston? When his name came across a couple of years ago and I had the opportunity to meet him, I walked away thoroughly impressed with him and said, man, I've got to stay in touch with this guy. That program's going places. And that hasn't changed since I got on campus. The strides he's made isn't measured in the wins in necessarily the last 2 years as much as it will be moving forward. Just the discipline, the professionalism, the way he walks that line of strong disciplinarian, yet taking care of the kids, and they want to be around the building and build this thing moving forward. So I knew there was a tradition here, and I had in my gut, I've done this long enough to feel like Coach Houston was the guy to move it forward, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Coach, you've got the fan buy-in with Mike Houston. The players have bought in, and we talked to Chris Foster, new running backs coach last week, Tim Doust yesterday. Both of them really bought into the head coach of the Pirates, Mike Houston, and that's why they jumped at the chance to get here to ECU.
Well, I think Coach recruits, his top job is to recruit players, but also to recruit coaches.
Yeah.
And I think he does a great job at that. And he's got to constantly sell the I mean, really, if you think a head football coach, you're in sales. You're selling the program to recruits. You're selling the program to other assistants. And, of course, most importantly, you got to sell the program to the fans who fund it, who buy the tickets, who support it, who donate to the Pirate Club, and so on. So you're in constant sales. And then and then once you get the recruit, you got to sell them on your system. This is the Mike Houston way. This is the way we heard him talk about that last week, that it took a while for people to kind of get the structure and discipline that he's brought, where he doesn't have to ask people to be on time anymore.
Right.
When he got here, that was just coming to a meeting on time was an issue.
Well, do you remember early on, Troy, we were like, all right, let's win some football games. And he would say, we have to learn how to practice.
Correct.
And we're like, oh, God.
Before we could, he really had to strip it down to the bare minimum, like starting over. Like, we can't worry about winning. We just have to learn how to do things right first. Like, show up on time. Here's how we practice. Here's how to tackle. Really kind of dumb it down in many ways. Take it back to the basics. And then build it up from there. And I think it's taken a couple years to get it. But I had a chance to talk to coaches, last week and a little bit off the air, too. And I feel like he finally feels like the program's at a point where now he can focus on the football side of things. Like, okay, now let's start implementing more and more football schemes.
Kind of brought that up with Cliff Godwin earlier in the week. He doesn't have to worry about the little things as much anymore. He can worry more about winning games.
They do the little things. They take care of it.
They already do it.
Correct.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have to constantly tell players, make sure you're here at practice.
It's an afterthought at this point.
Now it's a culture. Yeah. They're already there early. They're ready to go. He can just coach baseball. He doesn't have to babysit all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Coach Houston is with this program. And really, I think that's the challenge that Joe Dooley had when he took over, too. And, he, within a year or two, he was able to bring in all new guys to adapt to his style of coaching and playing. So right now, I do feel good about where things are headed with ECU football. And who knows, man? Maybe this could be a breakout year for East Carolina. But either way, as you heard Coach say last week, and it's on our podcast, our Pirate Radio podcast, if you missed it, we did about, 40, 45 minutes uninterrupted with Coach Houston. His goal right now, we're going to be competitive every game, is what he said. So that the chance, if you're competitive every game, you have a chance to win every game. Will they win every game? Of course not. Very unlikely. But you got to go into those games with the belief that you can.
Chris Foster, new running backs coach, is coming into a great situation with Rajay Harris and with Keaton Mitchell. Tim Doust, as the special teams coordinator, going into a good situation with Tyler Snead, who is a staple now at kick returns, punt returns. And Coach Doust gave his early impressions of Tyler Snead. This is cut 2, Shirley.
Well, I was fortunate during the fall, for good or for bad, at the FCS we didn't play. So I watched some Pirate games, and he's a dynamic player. I mean, I don't think I could tag him in my office right now. The guy's unbelievable. So I pull up the numbers, and we're averaged 14 yards a punt return last year. So we're just to see if we can't not screw that up and keep going, because that kid is tough in space. Try to get your athletes in space. That's what they're doing on offense. We're going to do the same thing on special teams, because he is a game changer. How many touches can he get a game? So we got to hold off the coverage units long enough to create him some space, because he will gain first downs for us, if you will, before we ever step on the field as an offense, if we can get him just a little bit of space.
Exciting to hear him talk about one of the Pirate weapons, Troy D. and Tyler Snead. And you got a lot of these guys returning for the Pirates, kind of known commodities at this point that have played a lot of football, and the expectation level is going to rise even more for those guys.
Yeah, and I heard you guys talking earlier about how we're tight end U now, it seems like. But I'm kind of excited to see. It's been so long since we've had consistent threats at tight end. Now we've got a bunch.
He joins us on the show every week now, unfortunately, and not on the field. Bryce Williams,
right? Exactly. But that's one of my favorite positions, and I am excited about this new transfer they've got coming in. I believe from Temple,
Aaron Jarman.
Yeah, and they've moved Freshwater into the tight end position too. And I mean, there's a number of possibilities of where this thing can go, but to me, I hope these guys pan out. We can utilize them.
Well, there's enough that you got to think the odds are in their favor that at least one will pan out. Right. I said, and not to be negative, but I mean, it's certainly quantity over quality at this point.
Right now,
yeah. But
somebody's got to rise to the top.
Yeah, absolutely. And they got plenty of options there in that tight end room. Let's hear one more from Tim Doust. He also is coaching the rush ends, I guess technically the outside linebackers, but he talked about his role there and also some of the personnel he's excited about.
We get real fancy on defense and move all over the place. Defense has changed as much as anything over the years with the new offenses. So they're defensive ends / outside linebackers. We call the edge players on around here. There's skill sets. There's kids that played. I'm excited that they were young, and now we can't be young anymore. Let's go. They've been around here. We're going to get through spring and fall camp, hopefully, knock on wood, get a lot of practices in where, Demir Faison has played, Kareem Stinson played, Manny Hickman played, Jason Romero played, Chad Stevens played. We're going to get Jeremy Lewis moved from tight end, want to come over to play defense. To me, that automatically makes me like that kid. Not a lot of kids line up and say, hey, let me go play defense. So I'm excited to work with Jeremy. Elijah Robinson has played. So these kids have all played, and the conversations are pretty smooth when we talk football. When we get a chance a little bit, we've gotten to do that so far. So I think that group of kids, because now in college football, you're not playing with two guys out there anymore. You better be able to keep up with the offense and have them keep up with you, if you will. So I've told the kids early on, we better be able to roll three guys out there, quality depth across the board. You're selfish if you're out there for 5 or 6 plays in a row. It means you're not going as hard as you can all out all the time, and we're going to demand that. And you'll get replaced by a guy who's going to do the same thing, so we'll always be fresh and putting pressure on the offense.
Tim Doust, great interview from Wednesday's edition of Pirate Radio Live.
Sounds like they're going to run it like NHL style with a shift change.
Yeah, line change.
In. Yeah, exactly.
And this is a guy, why is he so excited, Troy? He didn't coach in 2020. He was at an FCS school that he said they had their spring football during the fall just so they could get some work in. But he was not on the sidelines in 2020. He was watching football like us on TV.
He's going to have fresh legs, as we say.
And
he's coming in healthy.
A fresh voice to yell at the guys, too. So he's ready to roll. I'm
excited to have him here.
I like Tim Doust. I like Chris Foster. I think Mike Houston, and we'll see how it pans out, but they seem to be good fits for what Mike Houston wants in his program.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, time will tell, but absolutely, the first impression is very positive.
Yeah. All right, let's get a break in. I tell you what, let's make somebody a winner right now, Shirley Rhodes.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
317-1250. You can be a winner on this Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, what are we handing out today?
We are giving away a $20 Captain's Special Car Wash, courtesy of Pirates Cove Car Wash.
Swung by there yesterday.
Get your car washed like Troy D did. What caller are we looking for, Shirley?
I'm going to go with caller number 6.
Caller number 6, 317-1250, a winner on the other side.
Clip, when we come back, we are going to talk about attendance at high school football games. Are you a parent or a fan that would like to attend? Right now, the limit is 100. There is a big movement underway. This originated in Charlotte with a friend of the station, Trip Rokes. They've got, 40, 50,000 signatures on a petition trying to increase that number so more than 100 people could attend an outdoor football game for high school. They are getting some momentum on this. They're getting active in Raleigh with state legislators, and also potentially the governor. There could be some movement on this next week by the governor. We'll get the details. We're going to go out to Charlotte, North Carolina live, talk to Trip Rokes, who's helping to lead this movement. And if you would like to attend a football game for high school or potentially East Carolina baseball clip, because it could have bigger ramifications, we'll talk about that when we return. Don't go anywhere. Trip Rokes joins us live from Charlotte.
Impressive you did all that with all this confetti drop.
I know.
We'll be
This is
back
a party, baby.
on Pirate Radio Live right after this.
A car wash experience like no other is here at the new Tommy's Express. You'll enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride through our bright, inviting wash as luscious foams and soft cloths treat your car like new. After a final rinse, wax, and blow dry for a beautiful spot-free shine in just about 3 minutes, help yourself to our free vacuums and mat washers. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust? Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked! This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates. Your future is yours to create, and with the leadership development of Army ROTC, you're capable of taking command of it. Even in the midst of a pandemic, enrolling in Army ROTC prepares you to thrive as a full-time college student. Our specialized elective courses will equip you with the skills necessary to succeed in life, all while earning money for education. A strong future takes a strong force. Find out how to lead at goarmy.com/ECU. To learn more, contact Dale Anderson at 252-622-5346 or Anderson DAL at ECU.edu.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Oh, great. It's 30 degrees in here.
No one's coming out this late.
I'm on firewood.
Dad! I'll put hot coals in our socks for bedtime. Mom!
I'm from Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Got an email about your heat being out?
That was me. I
sent it from my phone.
I think your socks are on fire.
Delcor responds to heating emergencies 24 hours a day. Go to delcorinc.com or call 252-321-8868. Get a new train system with special financing for 60 months, subject to credit approval. It's hard to stop a train. Offer expires 3/31/21.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. Your office deserves a proactive tech support approach instead of always reacting to issues after the damage is done. You need BizCare. BizCare tech support and cybersecurity plans keep you ahead of potential issues and much safer from cyber threats like ransomware. What's at your office? Call William today to schedule your free BizCare consultation or learn more at universitypccare.com. Find yourself working from home or at least spending more time there? Want some remodeling for your house or a fresh look? How about a new deck or screened-in porch to add livable space outside? Don't know who to call? Well, you do now. Call the professionals at R&R Remodeling. They've been serving the local community for 15 years. Ronnie and his crew can help you today. Call for a free quote, 252-286-4119, or visit R&R Remodeling on Facebook. R&R Remodeling, construction you can count on.
This is Coach Gary Overton, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Town Insurance is your premier independent insurance agency. From maximizing opportunities to minimizing risk, Town's insurance advisors offer expert professional advice to clients of all sizes. For personal or business insurance questions, call 756-8300 today. And congratulations to Josh Thomas of Greenville. Picked up a $20 Captain Special Car Wash from Pirates Cove Car Wash. Keep your vehicle clean with the Pirates Cove Fast Pass with unlimited washes for only $9.99 for your first month. Pirates Cove Car Wash, the ultimate car wash experience, and the official car wash of ECU Athletics with locations on 10th Street, Fire Tower Road, and Memorial Drive. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Josh Thomas ready for some Pirate baseball. ECU beginning their season on Friday against Rhode Island. You got the NCAA basketball season kind of coming down the stretch. And believe it or not, next Friday on Pirate Radio, we'll have D.H. Conley football for you as the high school football season gets underway. Troy D.
Be here before you know it, Clip.
I know it's going to be here next Friday.
Nothing like winter, spring, high school football.
So you'll be able to listen to it on Pirate Radio.
Yes.
Will you be able to see it in person?
We'll talk about it. We'll have it on, by the way, speaking of being able to listen to it, thanks for everybody tuned in today on any one of our 4 radio stations throughout Eastern North Carolina. Also online, pr927fm.com, on our Facebook Live feed, or on YouTube Live. So lots of options to listen or watch the program. And speaking about being able to watch high school football, let's go live to Charlotte, North Carolina. Talk to a friend of the station, longtime friend of mine, Trip Rokes, former ECU Pirate, and a guy that's heavily involved in youth sports in the Charlotte area. Trip, first of all, welcome back to the show. Good to hear from you, buddy.
Hey, Troy, thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to be on with you, and congratulations on all the continued success for Pirate Radio.
Hey, thank you, man. Let's talk about what you have going on. You started in Charlotte, but this is really a statewide effort, and folks down east, I know you'd love their support to jump on this thing. And I first kind of started banging this drum back last summer when my kid was playing Little League, and they only allowed 30 people in the stands, which I thought was ridiculous. You had this big open air park. You could have easily had a couple hundred people, and there'd be 10, 15 feet from everybody. But, the rules were the rules, and at least they got to play. But now we're way past that. Now we're coming into the spring pretty soon, and high school football is getting ready to kick off, and there's a rule that says only 100 people can attend, which would basically just be the parents of the home team. Trip, and I know this has upset you, as many folks probably in our listening audience that think it's ridiculous that only 100 people could attend an event outside, that there's plenty of room to have many more than that, and you decided to do something about it. First, tell us what you decided to do.
Well, Troy, this pandemic's been going on for 11 months, and obviously both you and I have great respect for the pandemic and the virus, but we've hit the point now where we have separated families from children at athletic events for 11 months now, where we've severely restricted them and told most of the parents, sit at home, watch it on, if we're broadcasting, watch it there, and if your kid gets hurt, we'll let you know. But essentially, after I've really worked on this since May with different legislators, Mandy Cohen, Roy Cooper, trying to get some changes. I mean, to me, it's if you're a parent and your child plays a sport, it's a team effort, it's a family effort, and you should be able to be there. But you're right, 100 people right now are allowed at outside athletic events. Now, don't focus just on football, because there's lacrosse going on, there's soccer going on, baseball's getting ready to start. There's a lot of other things going on, but football might have, it kind of catches attention of everyone. So about a week and a half ago, a fantastic person from Union County named Megan O'Connell began a petition online, and that petition is up to 40,000 signatures, which is a huge amount across the state, asking Governor Cooper to change his executive order to allow more than 100 people to attend these athletic events. Well, it caught a lot of steam the last week and a half. Myself and Megan have done unlimited amounts of TV and radio the last week. We've promoted it. I recorded a message that's been witnessed something like 10,000 times, a direct message to Governor Cooper. And today, in Governor Cooper's press conference, he acknowledged that there would be a change probably coming next week in his executive orders to increase that number to allow more people at the games. But if that does not change, I'll use an example. You guys are the home station for D.H. Conley, I believe.
That's right. Yep.
Let's say that D.H. Conley, if you have a child playing for D.H. Conley, and it's an away game next week, and they're playing whoever they're playing, you would not, only 100 parents can attend, and that is 100 parents covering the cheerleaders, the band, and the football. So there's a high chance, especially if you're not a senior parent, you're not going to get to see your child play if these executive orders don't change. And we've worked very hard. Just yesterday, a brand new bill was introduced into the North Carolina Senate to change this. They're asking for 40% capacity at outdoors events, which would be fantastic. That's probably a pretty high number. I'm going to support it regardless. But the whole basis of this, we're outside, we're families, we've been socially distancing for 11 months now. We can make some decisions on our own. Let us see our children. That's essentially where we're at right now. And it has picked up a lot of steam across the state, and I know there's plenty of people from Eastern North Carolina that have called their legislators and signed a petition and other things, but this is a statewide effort.
Once again, we're talking to Trip Rokes out of Charlotte, North Carolina, about the effort to increase attendance at high school football. And Trip, it's not just high school football. You mentioned it's the other sports. It could be junior high athletics. It could be potentially ECU baseball that could benefit from this with fans in the stands.
That's something we have not talked about.
What are you asking? What specifically are you asking for on this petition? Are you still looking for people to sign it? And what do you think what are you asking the governor to do? What do you think is realistic?
Well, I'll copy you on the petition again here in a little bit so you can forward it out. But because to get it from 40,000 to 50,000 would be amazing. The wording is simply to increase. Now, behind the scenes, we're talking certain numbers. My biggest push personally has been 2 parents per child, per student athlete to be able to attend. I think that's at a minimum, but we've got to cover mom and dad, without a doubt. Now, if it becomes a higher number than that and more people can go, that's incredible. That's fantastic. I'll be the first one to say, great job, Governor Cooper. But right now, we're just pushing for more. And I hope at the minimum that more, very easy to calculate, 2 parents per child.
Gotcha. What do you think will happen? I did hear Governor Cooper kind of allude to some potential changes next week. What do you think will happen, and how could this affect the other sports, including, as we said, something like ECU baseball here locally?
His current executive order expires on the 28th. I expect Monday or Tuesday he will probably announce what the new executive order will be. Now, it is ironic that football season opens Friday night, and that will be before the executive order runs out. So we'll see if something happens for this first home games that everyone is going to be having, and that would certainly lower the stress level and settle things in the state of North Carolina with most people. But you're right. This affects East Carolina baseball. It affects every baseball, soccer, all programs across the state. Now, granted, if this happens, it does not necessarily mean that East Carolina will abide by it. They could stick with what they're doing. Now, I know that East Carolina needs every penny that they can get, every ticket purchase that they can get right now. So hopefully they would abide with whatever the new executive order is. But hey, it sure would be nice. What is the plan right now? They can have just parents come in at East Carolina, or is he announced what the plan is going to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 100's the same. So it's
limit.
Yeah, it's going to be basically your parents that are there. It's not going to be open to the general public, but hopefully that stuff can change. And I do think it would be a popular move. And look, the numbers are going in the right direction as far as the hospitalizations and the number of people infected. So things are moving in the right direction. The vaccine is getting out there more and more every single day. So I think this is the time to, hey, look, give people, as you said, Trip, the option. That doesn't mean they have to go attend if they don't want to, but give, especially parents and not just parents, but other family members, brothers and sisters, and if there is enough room, folks in the community, a chance to go if they'd like to attend in person. I think that's all we're asking is, hey, let people have an option to go, and then go about it safely and smartly. But I think this is something that hopefully will get done, and I appreciate your efforts on trying to get it done throughout the state.
No, we've just got to bring some type of normalcy back where people can do these kind of things and relieve a little bit of stress in their life. At some point, we have to begin to manage the virus instead of letting the virus manage us. I've been saying that a lot lately. And the other thing that I continue to say is, together we can find a path to yes. And that's people working together, finding a solution to reach a common goal. And that's what I have pushed for 10 or 11 months now. And I've spent the last 10 days focusing completely on this with just an incredible partner in Megan O'Connell, who has worked so tirelessly on the petition and other things. She has been a real champion out of Union County on this, and I have to talk about her, and she inspired us all.
Trip, how are things? You live in South Charlotte. How are things there? When I'm across the state, it just depends where you're at. Everybody has different reactions to this. Some places in Raleigh are super strict. As you get to the coast, it's much more laid back. In Greenville, it's a little bit of mix of everything. I've been to some restaurants where they won't seat you until they take your temperature, and others you'd have no idea there was even anything going on. What's the situation in South Charlotte?
Charlotte is more of a stricter community, I guess you would say, but I can drive 3 minutes and be in Union County, and things are totally different there. I can drive about 10 minutes and be in South Carolina, and holy cow, it's a whole different world down there. But listen, there's a lot of places, outdoor breweries, bowling alleys, the Great Wolf Lodge, they're operating as if, number-wise, as if, oh, we can do whatever we want. I mean, you've all seen it. You go probably to your Lowe's or your Home Depot there in Greenville, and it says 1,900 people are allowed. Or, at the grocery store, hundreds of people allowed, and things like that. That's what's bothered our state, the citizens of our state, more than anything, where some businesses have not been restricted, and then smaller businesses like what I operate have just been absolutely hammered with the restrictions that have been placed. So I think all we're looking for is normalcy. All we're looking for is fair treatment, and the number one goal right now, for my eyes, is putting parents in the seats to watch their children perform. And once these opportunities are gone, you can never, ever, ever get them back.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is kind of the hypocrisy of this deal where, hey, look, nothing against the places that are operating and have people, but don't punish others. Why should Sheetz have the same amount of people or allow the same amount of people as a high school football stadium? I mean, that is just kind of crazy to me. And nothing against Sheetz. I don't think they should be limited either, but don't limit, especially an outdoor. I think some common sense needs to come through, and hopefully, Trip, with your efforts and others, maybe you can get the right people in the governor's ear. I know you've become buddies with Mandy Cohen over the past few months. Maybe you can lean on them and get some common sense, because I know a lot of parents and fans of athletics would be very excited to be able to have some of these restrictions lifted a little bit.
We're going to get there, Troy. One way or the other, we're going to get there, and it's I know so much of your support at Pirate Radio comes from small businesses like different things that I own, and you've been there for them, and we just have to continue to pull and advocate and promote for small businesses to all be open back up. That's for doggone sure.
Trip, great hearing from you, man. Keep up the good work. Send me that link. We'll put it out there to the Pirate Nation and on our social media sites and let people, if they want to, I'm sure it's pretty easy on how they could join and sign up on that petition to try and increase attendance at these sports venues throughout the state. And as we said, hopefully this could trickle up to help ECU baseball too, if fans want to be back in the jungle. So definitely has an effect here locally. Trip, great hearing from you, my man. We'll touch base with you again soon.
Thank you so much, Troy. It's always a pleasure.
All right, Trip Brooks, our buddy in Charlotte with the South Charlotte Sports Report and many other operations he's involved in.
I was looking at the NASCAR schedule, Troy. NASCAR doesn't go to Charlotte until May 30th. If it was before that, I was going to ask a question about potential attendance at that event, but it's so far down the road.
That'll be a big weekend, too, because that's, Memorial Day weekend? Always they run that. The Coca-Cola 600, is it?
Yeah, right. The longest race of this season. So, that's like years from now in today's world. Right?
It's fun. It seems like that'll be here pretty soon, but it does, like the way this time goes. Yeah, who knows what's going on in May? I mean, it could be like, hey, May everything's wide open, or we're back in lockdown. You just don't. I mean, that's the uncertainty of this thing. I do feel things are getting better. It does seem every day. Things, and the quicker they can get this vaccine out, the more people that can be vaccinated, it's great. Folks choose to do that, and it seems like there's huge demand for it. There's more demand for it right now than they have vaccines available. But by May, and everything I hear from the government officials, I think you're going to have a majority of folks are going to be able to probably be vaccinated by then. Right. And I think things are going to this summer hopefully start to. I don't want to say return to normal, but normalize a little bit. Yeah. And you're starting to see that now. As I said, when I go out and about, it depends on the place, but certain places I go and feels like nothing ever happened, and then some places are a little bit stricter. So,
Charlie, let's get our last break in. We'll come back. Have 10 more minutes to go here on a Thursday edition of Pirate Radio Live. More to go with Troy D. We're back with you after this.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
Medicare is not one size fits all, but which plan is right for you? Hi, I'm Denise Walker, and I'm a licensed insurance agent here in North Carolina. Whether you are turning 65, new to Medicare, or already have a plan, I can help you compare your Medicare options. I can help you find a plan offering low to no monthly premiums, prescription drug coverage, and a wide range of additional benefits like dental, hearing, vision, and more. Call me today at 434-531-5674 to get a no-cost, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for only $2.50. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Greenville, and now available through DoorDash, featuring a half gallon of the famous margarita mix to go for only $9.99. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owners insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
All right, in studio with Candy Cane with F3 and a big event going on this Saturday. Tell us about it.
Huge event. We're going to be at the Town Commons, 7 a.m. It's going to be our 6-year anniversary. We'll have a 1-hour workout right after, free breakfast. All men are invited, and it's free.
Who can show up?
All men.
Where?
Town Commons.
What time?
7 a.m.
Where can they learn more?
F3ENC.com.
When is it again?
This Saturday, 7 a.m., Town Commons.
One letter, one number, F3.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is Stephen Igoe, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Take a look at your stock market report. The Dow was down 119 points at 31,493. The NASDAQ was down 100 at 13,865. And the S&P was also down 17 points at 3,913. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Crank this tune up, Shirley.
Troy loves your generic music selection.
Well, I feel like I just got the sensation like Eddie Murphy looking for somebody in an 80s movie right here.
It's kind of, it's got a little bit of a Devo feel. It kind of got a whip it kind of feel to it.
I like this.
Yeah.
Credits are rolling at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. He's driving around.
Yeah, this is totally like an Eddie Murphy movie from the 80s right here.
This is Judd Nelson driving that classic 4-door police car.
There you go.
Down the hills of San Francisco, you know, the ones where they go airborne and they're chasing somebody.
What was the bumper music you had on the first break, though? Like I said, I could work. Can you play it real quick? Do you still have it queued up?
No, I have it closed out.
Are you taking requests of
generic music?
I was going to load that on my iPhone and play that during my workout.
Morgan Ayler's over there taking requests.
Look,
Captain Morgan.
Well, thanks to YouTube's filters, I have to be very, I have to pick generic music.
It's ridiculous.
But at the same time, I'm not going to play just anything.
I will
It's got to
say,
be perfect.
I like your generic music choices that you make during the show.
Yeah.
And we pay all these
very
ridiculous fees to ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, all these licensing
So
companies.
dumb, yeah.
But like, you can't get a hold of anyone at Google with YouTube, so they the filters pick it up, even though we have the rights to it to play it with the incidental use. Have you ever tried calling Google? Getting a hold of somebody there?
Unfortunately, John Google is not there to answer your call.
And then, and this is a true story. So Facebook used to have a bunch of filters too that would get caught up, and they'd say, you're playing music. They're all so paranoid, I guess, getting sued by these, music companies or whatever. So I'd always protest and say, no, we have the rights. We pay the rights fees. We're allowed to use this music. We're a radio station. We're doing it legal, all this stuff. So I got a notice back from Facebook. And it was actually Clip. You were on the clip. It was one of the post games. And we were playing some song. I don't know. I have to show it to you. It says, Facebook has agreed with your dispute. We no longer have a claim on your video, whatever. We basically won the dispute. They looked at it, we won. And it was only from like 3 seasons ago. It was like 3 years old.
Jeez.
It was like from the 2018 season they finally... I'm like, what took so long to get back to us on that?
Well, that kind of happened on Twitter, too, when we got kicked off. It was from a video of, like, the previous year at a baseball game or something.
Yeah, and it was the background. Like, we were there, like, recording Cliff Godwin talking. They're playing music in the background. And it was just happened to be in the background. And then we get, like, a violation.
Technically, it was Eric Ward's fault for playing that song
so ECU.
at Clark LeClaire. Yes.
Twitter.
Correct. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bunch
so
of
there's
jerks.
also
Not ECU, Twitter. But.
I think there's a way to do it. It's just I got to do some research on it, and I think there's a way to do it. But
I don't know. So anyway, that's probably more than that's a little insider baseball for people. But sometimes people like to know what goes on behind the scenes.
And what's funny is that I remember talking to you. I was like, I'm not keen on this generic music because it just all sounds the same to me, and da 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 da. And what does Troy say? Shirley, don't get bogged down in the weeds. I guarantee you, people are not listening to the music.
True.
But yet, both of you just said.
Well, I'm listening to the music, but average people want to hear the show.
I know.
They don't just tune in for bumper music.
But I stand by that. But I'm a stickler for that.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, how's the chocolate in there?
Oh, I had one. It was great.
Yeah,
mine had peanut butter in it.
Thought of Shirley today. I always eat Shirley's. I'm always eating Shirley's pretzels. So had a chance to do something nice for Shirley today, so I brought her a box of chocolates.
Like I need this, but as of someone who is trying to not eat bad
treat
food.
yourself, Shirley. It's winter.
By the way,
so this is the mystery chocolate. Let's see what this
one.
is.
All right, here we go.
We're doing live.
Here we go, Jim.
No, that's a chocolate truffle.
Shirley,
and that one has roach guts in it.
Oh, that's gross, man. What would you say?
Yeah.
A source tells me that Eric Ward was not responsible for playing the song in question, and that Eric Ward does not play music underneath media interviews. So
that's good. Well, no one's playing music underneath the Zoom interviews anymore. So we solved that problem.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But there were, a lot of times after these games, they play music in the stadium, and the coach is out there. But it is. If it's not the music, it's the lawn crew. It's always some type of thing in the background where it's just tough. Like
I miss those sounds.
Or some of those fans that chant the players' names in the background.
Yes, that the Jungle Crew.
House,
yeah,
Brick House.
So to me, it's very distracting but very humorous when we used to have that. But I miss those days. Clip, you're right.
It's part of the atmosphere.
Yeah, one day I hope we can get to bad post game audio like that is interfered with.
We just really missed the opportunity to complain about it. Is basically what it is.
We need more to complain about. We've been getting you ready for the ECU baseball season, not just this week, but we've had a great series of shows this week. Had Corey Glore on yesterday, Troy. And Corey Glore, like yourself, is a Bears fan.
He is.
And I asked him.
It's one of the few things I have in common with Corey.
Well, your booming voice as well.
Well, that's true.
Yeah,
Thank you, Clip.
You do have a similar voice.
Thank you, Clip.
I asked him who the starting quarterback of the Bears was going to be in September.
It's not going to be.
He said Carson Wentz.
It's not going to be Wentz.
12 hours later, Wentz is traded to the Colts.
Yeah, I had heard through the grapevine that Wentz wasn't excited about going to Chicago, and you can't pick up a guy like that if they don't want to be there. Or a trade deal like that.
So the Colts make the deal. Would you have made this deal if you were the Bears and if Wentz agreed to go? All they're giving up is a third rounder this year and potentially a first rounder next year, but right now it's a second rounder.
Look, the Bears the problem with the Bears, they have no quarter. You can't. If I was Trubisky, I wouldn't want to go back to the Bears. They benched him last year. Then they had to bring him back. They didn't opt for his year coming up, so he's going to be a free agent coming up in a month or whenever.
Is Foles under contract?
They still have Foles under contract, but
they benched both of those guys.
But Foles sucked. I mean, he just didn't work out. I was excited about Foles, but I don't know what the problem is with Foles. But he can't get it done, so he's not the future. But they got another year with him. I think they got to get somebody in there, and it's not. I don't think Deshaun Watson wants to go to Chicago. So now, and then you got a coach and a GM that are kind of on the hot seat, quite honestly. Probably should have been fired this year, but because they made a playoff game, because of the new NFL rules, they kept them.
They were the one extra team to get in this year.
Right. So then if you're a quarterback and you're brought in by the coach and GM that then get fired next year, are you really going to make it when you're not there, the new guy's guy? So it's a hot mess, man.
It is.
So I don't know what we're going to do.
I like to bring this up with you every few weeks to get you going a little bit.
I know. But looking at Friday, unfortunately, 80% chance of showers Friday in Greenville, North Carolina. The good news is Saturday and Sunday looks like it is going to be either partly cloudy to sunny skies, but it is going to be cold. Lows in the 20s, highs only getting up into the low 40s.
Yeah, could be a long Saturday for me. Could be a double
Chief
dip.
Meteorologist Troy D.
Let's go inside the Weather Center with Troy Dreyfus.
I mean, really, and how easy a job is that for these meteorologists? All they do is read what the computer tells them to do. I mean, it's really a simple job. They make these weather guys out to be such great guys, and I'm sure they're fine people, but like the job, you're just doing whatever the computer tells you. They're not predicting anything. They're reading what the computer predicts. Why do we have like this love affair? Like, oh, the weatherman, what's going to happen? Hell, pull it up on your own phone. It'll tell you what's going to happen. Sorry.
All right, that has been Troy D.
I just got to get that off my chest.
I'm not passionate about that topic like you are, so I wasn't going to chime in.
But at least when we predict scores, we're making a prediction. And usually it's wrong.
I don't know.
But we're doing it on our own. We're not running a computer simulator. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sports predictions mean something. Weather predictions are made by the computer.
Troy, great to see you.
All right, I'll be happier next week.
Will you? On Monday?
I hope so. Because I
check the weather.
Hold on, let me see what the weatherman says. Oh no, 60% chance of rain Monday.
More of this coming up on Monday.
How much more rain can we take, people?
On Pirate Radio Live. We'll have a good Fun Friday show, though.
Good seeing you guys.
Enjoyed it. Shirley, Chandler, see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Tune in Friday at 3 for an all-new episode of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio.